What came after?
I don't know. Hold on.
The town is completely overrun. What's the Army's evacuation plan?
Everyone, cut the back.
There's an airlift in 30 minutes.
The colonel is lying. The army thinks about containment first. If I'm right,
We're all dead. Fuck you!
And that was the whole
might be-
movie.
That's like one of the worst trailers I've ever seen.
I didn't put that together. We ran out of a little time. That's the official trailer. My favorite thing is that they had all of that. They had all of those clips. Everything. Clearly, the movie was done, and they still hadn't named it properly.
What does Requiem mean?
I actually don't know what the definition of
I'm
Requiem
clearly
is.
very uneducated here. I have no idea what that word means.
Let me see. You know what? Maybe our guest knows. I'm just going to bring him in real quick, though.
Sounds like he knows these things.
Yeah. So everybody, I'm gonna bring him right in. Everyone knows MauLer, so there's no sense in doing a long introduction.
Hello.
MauLer, do you know what Requiem means off the top of your head?
Is this something like? Is it religious? I think it's got some kind of religious connotation. It's something to do with dead things, I think.
It is a musical composition or mass for the dead, typically sung or played during funeral services. Okay.
That's even worse.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, they're just like lots of people die. Which, by the way, I've never, or at least I feel like I've never seen that trailer before. Because wow, that was like the challenge was: can you spoil literally everything in the movie within 2 minutes?
I mean, that I looked it up because like normally we tailor the trailers a little bit more, but Joe had a little bit of computer issues this morning, so we had to scramble. So I just made I just made a lazy trailer and just took one of the official ones and threw it in, and was like, as I'm watching it, I'm like, holy shit, this is the whole movie.
Yeah,
we saw every death, and it was almost like Terminator Salvation, where it ruined the main twist of the movie. It's like, oh, everyone you know dies in this movie.
I was really surprised they showed the death of that girl in like the third act. I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah.
I have a clip of that too.
Yeah, I think that the way you said that sums it all up, MauLer. The death of that girl, because I don't remember any of the characters' names, and I just watched the movie last night. So,
well, it's worse for me because I watched it an hour ago.
Well, anyway, we
watched for the record because I'm a fucking hyper fan of Predator and Alien, so I would see every movie they put out of it, and unfortunately this was one.
I'm actually gonna put up in a little bit, I'll put up a poll. I think I did it last time too, but I'll do it again for the alien, or for the xenomorph, or the Yuchja, however you pronounce it. But yeah, so I know that we kind of got MauLer in a little bit quicker than usual, but I just want to say hello to the chat, and of course hello to you, Joe, and you, MauLer. Hello. We are doing the cinematic masterpiece today. That is Alien versus Predator Requiem, which MauLer didn't realize he signed up for when he did the first AVP about a year ago. So,
who else is ever going to ask me to talk about this movie? So it's fine.
You get to bring him on for the Borderlands. What's the next Badlands one?
Badlands. Well, it's crazy because
you got to bring him on for that too.
I wish that I could say that I planned it out for. Yesterday was Alien Day in like International Alien Day, and also 3 days ago they released the Predator Badlands. I wish I had that level of predicting what's going to be relevant at the time.
Wasn't like last week's Superman Day or something too? Where do these days come from?
People just make them
these
up.
days.
It's like daylight savings. They just make up a day for it.
But yeah, so I guess I'll just say hi to the chat again. We got Tomby's out there. We got Neil. Yeah, man, this movie is something. It's a movie, that's for sure. I think I don't remember exactly how I said it, but I was like, I'll just after producing the okayest crossover sequel of all time, in Alien versus Predator, Fox followed up with this masterclass in how to ruin two IPs at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
that sums it up. So it is a fascinating film. My biggest memory about it was I may have watched it in a way that was unconventional when it first came out. Let's just put it that way. And I thought, man, how unfortunate that the version I have is it recorded such that I can't see a single thing. And then I saw the actual film, and I was like, oh, that's just how it looks. Okay. Jesus, that's
oh, so you sailed the seven seas to watch it? Is that?
So a friend warned me it was awful, and so I was like, do I pay to see this? And then I eventually decided I would, after thinking that the copy I had was way too... This movie is my go-to for how not to shoot darkness. It's like fucking terrible. Rewatching it again, there are so many scenes where I can't tell a single thing is going on. And for a fact they did it because they were like, well, it gives more to the imagination. You got to get all these prosthetics running around you. It looks better for them. And it's just like, no, not that dark, mate. I can't.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Terrible. It's like a book. You're not supposed to see it. You're just supposed to visualize it.
Well, I think what it was they probably realized pretty quickly that they did not have the budget for all the things they wanted to do. Because they do a lot with the aliens and the Predator in this.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The lads behind this, their trade was special effects. They like the two.
I don't know shit about them. The brothers Strauss, I think, I saw at the very end of
the one aspect of this movie that I remember, and then rewatching it, I was pretty okay with it. Was that they have a lot of good-looking creatures in it. Like they did the work. They know how to do that.
So but that's why I think what they did was they probably tried to account for certain things with the darkness, which that we always say it. Anytime you use bad CG, which at the mid 2000s CG wasn't particularly good yet.
Yeah.
If you make it darker, it makes it look better because you don't see it as jarring. So that might have been a choice. It seems like, I'm looking at their so they basically just did a lot of music videos leading up to this.
The perfect people to do a IP like this. What have you done in the past?
I have no
music.
I remember
videos.
when I read about it at first, and I checked this out. I was like, "How the fuck did these guys get this movie? How is this possible?" And it's I guess nobody else wanted it.
Yeah, they did two short films, and apparently they were the ones who did the visual effects for movies like Battle Los Angeles, Battle LA.
Oh boy,
yeah. Which honestly, hindsight, not the worst movie I've ever seen. At the time, I was really disappointed with it, but that's one of those ones that nowadays, looking back at it, not as bad as I thought.
You mean the movie where they realized, hey, if we shoot them in the chest, they die instantly after shooting barrages of bullets at them?
They're bullets.
Yes, now we know how to kill them.
But yes, this is out of the entire Alien and Predator franchise, somehow this is the one that people not only completely forget exists, but whenever they remember it, they're embarrassed.
That's kind of my early I couldn't recall shit about this movie.
Well, I want to say in retrospect, I'm not sure I would rate this lower or lowest. I guess I think this is better than The Predator.
I'm pretty certain that's your least favorite movie of all time, MauLer. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. That's definitely in your bottom 5 ever.
Is that the one with the autistic kid? That's a superhero.
Yes. Super weaponized autism. Yep.
Yes. I think that's what
the Predator. They retcon Predator's law to be autism hunters, which they will never be forgiven for doing that. Shane Black, you fucker.
And he was supposed to be brought in to like save the franchise.
I remember everyone saying this is it. This will be great because he was a part of the Predator, the original. It's like, yeah, okay. Look how that turned out.
But yeah, so I do have a super chat here just popped in. I'm not sure what for $1.99 from Iron Mandrill, multi-track drifting. I'm not really sure what that's a reference to. Maybe you can let me know what that means, and then we can react to it a little bit better.
Like the cameras and stuff like that, where you put it on a track or something like that and move it around.
Well, that's a dolly unit. That's what they call that. I worked in the industry for a long time, but I don't know. Maybe that's what he means. I don't. But anyway, that just leaves you. Well, I guess I'll finish off my thought. I didn't remember shit about this movie. I was like watching it, and I'm like, I vaguely remembered the pool scene, and that the Predator walks around and just pours basically an infinite jar of holding worth of blue goo that melts things instantaneously. Those are the two things I remembered, and other than that, everything. It was like watching it for the first time again, which I don't think I've seen it since like 2008. Because I didn't go see this one in theaters. I was in college at the time when this came out, so I was I was training a lot. So basically, it was go to class and then go train, go to class, go train, compete on the weekend. I didn't really see a lot of movies from like 2008, 2007 to like 2010, pretty much. But how about you, Joe? What was your? I think this was actually your first time watching this one. Was that true?
It's one of those things where you say a name of a movie and I'm like, oh, I remember this. And then you put it on and have no recollection whatsoever, but you know you were there for it. You just don't know how. So I have no idea if I've seen this movie before, but yeah, I watched it now and I'm going to look forward to forgetting this movie existed in 20 years.
Oh, I'm just going to put, I don't know if MauLer saw the thumbnail that I did for this.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, okay.
The Dinah who gets fucked up. She doesn't have a story really. She's just
none of them do. There's only a story
between.
There's really only a story for the two, the main character guy and his like crush, and then other than that, they're just all fodder to be eaten.
Pretty much. That's the big problem with this film is there's just no character.
Yeah. One additional super chat came in, and we'll get into the movie a little bit. $5 from Jacob WD40. The Predator after injecting the tism. I am the Predator, Dr. Alien. I am the Predator. Or I am a Predator, sorry. I
am a Predator, Dr. Alien.
But yeah, I mean, there's not really much background for us, I guess, for this one. So I guess let's jump into it. Did you still need me to pop up the slides, Joe?
Yes, absolutely, okay. Because I cannot see anything here.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the joke.
Yeah, so. Now before we get into this, I'd like to apologize to the audience. This movie is dark. Not dark like Roll 'em Up on Martin Luther King Boulevard kind of dark. Dark as in you cannot see a single solitary thing here. So we're going to do our absolute best to narrate our way through this together. Because as you can see from here, this was the piece before all the light came in. And the words were taken away, so this is the best I can do with this. But let's jump into this movie then, right, guys?
Yeah.
All right.
So, we start off in deep space on the Predator's ship, right after the events of Alien vs. Predator 1, as Scar, the hero and love interest of the first movie, lays dead on a
love interest.
Oh, she was definitely going to do him. Absolutely.
He didn't make it. How sad.
No, he didn't. But ironically, the chest burster inside of him did. And then it quickly grows. How fast do these aliens grow? Because this is like a 2-second growth.
Yeah, we got some bullshit happening immediately. They've had to retcon the ending of AVP, which I guess if you want to. But like, suddenly now we're on a tiny ship with just like 3 predators at most. And for some reason, the predalien grows so fast that they can't even leave Earth's orbit before it's killed all of them. Like, how the hell did that happen?
And of course...
hold that thought, Joe. Just another. I always do the super chats as fast as I can. So, two quids, whatever you call it, quids. All I can afford. Don't judge me for Melvin Deeply. I mean, you spent it just to tell me that that's all you could afford, so I can't really judge you on that.
I don't know what a quid is. Where it comes
quid
from.
Is like their word for like a buck, right?
It's our word.
It's their word for a buck.
But yeah, the aliens grew super fast in AVP, and they're even faster in this film because people gave up. Who cares what aliens set in stone or aliens?
It's because of the Predator-alien DNA from the Predator. That's why it grew so fast. But for some odd reason, they have face huggers all over this thing. And then we see an alien, a Predator just I think he's just skinning an alien head for some reason.
Yeah, it's the one that had the weird shape to it. The weird when it got the net on it. It's that one.
Wait, really?
If you look at it closely, it's got like or at least I think it does. It looks like
look at it closely, a dark screen.
Yeah, I mean I might be wrong.
Well, it can't be that one because that one got exploded like completely in AVP. Remember?
Yeah, I mean. They don't remember though, so
Yeah, if the people writing this thing do not remember it, we're not going to remember it, which is why we have to do the novelization of this movie, clearly.
It's funny that alien, the one with the net head, like that ends up being like skins and things because people kind of like it.
I mean, it was a little bit unique. When you have all the
Yeah.
other ones, one of them has to stand out, so... Yep. So as he's doing this, we get a really... The problem with this movie, a lot of the CGI, when the ones that you can see, it actually looks really cool because we have the Predator alien in the reflection of the helmet, and he just blows through this guy's head, though. And of course, the alarms.
I mean, to me, I'm always a little bit disappointed when predators are basically treated like actual civilian fodder. These guys, they're supposed to be like walking tanks who are terrifying, but aliens can just wipe through them. No problem in this film and the other one. That's why I actually kind of like... There's things I like in this film. Okay, there, I said it. And I believe, is his name Wolf?
Yes, yeah. I actually, it was inspired by the Pulp Fiction character, the Wolf, because he comes in to like fix shit, basically.
Yeah,
That's his name.
Things I like about that.
But it's weird because I mean we haven't gotten there yet. But he like just gets a message, like doesn't tell anybody, just hops in a ship and is just like, here I am.
Wow, that's so weird. I have a note on here that says that we're gonna name the Predator together because I didn't know what his name was.
Yep, it's Wolf.
I just called him Chad Predator. So,
well, I mean, I like him more than a lot of predators in these crappier films because he's allowed to be competent, at least sometimes, not all the time.
Wow, that's a fantastic segue because now we meet the least competent predator on the entire ship. So as he's going through this and watching his brethren killed, he fires a shot, and of course, because aim assist isn't on, he blows a hole through his own ship.
Even humans are smart enough to not do this shit, at least, in good films. It's like the idea that the Predator just casually fires a plasma caster inside his own ship and blows it up. It's just like, fucking hell.
Like, what are these things made of? Paper mache?
Well, you'd think you'd either have the hull strong enough integrity that the plasma caster wouldn't destroy it, or you wouldn't shoot that gun in your own ship because it would kill you all.
But if it didn't, the plot wouldn't happen.
True.
And that's all this movie is, just plot conveniences throughout the entire thing.
Well, it's basically, it has a pretty basic way of going. It's like introduce character, kill them before we can learn who they are. No different on this ship.
And they all somehow converge in the same location every time. So
yeah, I've always hated the excuse. It's like they're all rookie predators. That's why it's like.
Yeah, here you go. Incognito said it best. These predators are all undergrads.
Yeah, but these were the predators that
people make is it's like the only veteran we've ever seen really is Wolf, and it's just like that's I don't shut up.
No, but didn't the cool predators come at the end of the first movie? The ones with the spears and
Oh no, that was the end of this. That was the end of this. You're talking about the end of AVP 1?
Yeah, isn't this the same ship?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but
so now all of a sudden those guys are what in the
got a
back
hell of a
doing
lot
nothing?
smaller. I don't know. And then they decided to just cycle around Earth for a while. I don't know. It's so weird, but they're desperate to get, from the get go they pitched this as aliens and predators in suburbia. Let's do it, and that's exactly what the new show is going to be too, probably. So, woohoo!
Which show? Because we have two shows coming out. We have Alien Earth and.
Okay.
Predator Badlands, which I'm not even sure. Are they even connected? Who knows?
Probably everything's connected.
Well, they will be. I mean, they got the Weyland-Yutani android in the trailer, so definitely building up to another AVP installment, which will be hilarious considering its history. I wonder which Trachtenberg bigger this time. Probably, well, maybe Trachtenberg, or it would be Alvarez, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna say Probably. Alien versus Predator versus 90-pound Ella Fannin, or like that's not gonna work.
Well, that's the history of the franchise. Got to bring in a petite lady, like what's her name?
Bella Ramsey.
Kaylee Spaney is the newest one.
Yeah, and then they also had what's her name, like Thunder Hawk or whatever the hell her name was from Prey.
Oh yeah, and then of course the one that everyone forgets about is the AVP lady.
What?
So rude.
Yeah, she was well, like you said in the last when we did AVP, that at least they made sense out of her skill set. She was a mountain climber, and she uses her mountain climbing skill set to its fullest.
I did not hate that character. I thought she was all right. Bringing her back could be cool if you do it right.
Mid Thunder. There we go. I called her Thunder. What did I just call her? Thunderhawk. That's
her name is Thunder.
It's like April or Amber Mid Thunder or something like that. It's I just called her a character from Street Fighter, Thunderhawk.
So, as the paper mache ship is exploded, it of course crashes back on Earth, where we meet Buddy Benson and his son who are out hunting, and they see the Predator ship land gently on the ground, and they go to investigate it. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's a really nice shot here. That's the problem.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, they do
There's only
something.
a handful of CG stuff that I find gross, like the little aliens, chest-bursted creatures. Like when they're CG, it's just like, ugh. Come on, make them practical. Come on.
So you ask for too much. Speaking of which, we do get some chest bursters leaving their pods. Of course, they're completely.
Those are the face huggers leaving their pods.
Oh, face. Oh, what? Oh
Chest
yeah. Oh my.
bursters,
Oh my
It goes
mistake.
face hugger, chest burster, larval stage. I don't know what that one's called. It's like,
I mean,
Yeah,
most
for-
of the movies skip between
Yeah.
the chest burster and to the adult. So
yeah.
Yeah. So now we have the predator that fired the shot. He's just there clinging to life as we see the face huggers start to leave the pod, and he wants to blow up the ship. But before that, the Preda alien comes by and just blows his brains out.
I
Then
feel
we got-
so bad for so many of the people in this movie because they do not deserve the treatment that happens to them. They none of them are, except for the douchey ex-boyfriend, none of them get a proper setup for the brutal deaths that happen to all of them.
A lot of children die in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of children and a lot of babies die.
a lot of
in this.
pregnant women and chill babies, yeah, like unborn babies
Yeah.
get killed in this.
I'm sitting there watching, like, oh no, my
It was
little
very
cat.
it was the height of the abortion ban stuff, so that's what was going on right there. It was like-
Well, that's one way to do it.
but one thing I did find fun. So these two, the father like actually clips one of them with a bullet at one point.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Rushing ahead here,
yeah.
man. You
But I'm
can't-
just saying,
you
like,
can't rush cinema.
I was gonna say he's like, there you go. He's one of the first humans to ever catch one of the face huggers mid jump.
Yeah, it's not
Like,
a bad
yes.
shot. Good for him, though he gets punished hard for this.
As seen in the next slide here, where the acid just rips his arm. I really hate in this movie how the acid, it either destroys you or it does nothing at all.
Yeah,
Like later on when Dallas blows the alien away at close range, nothing happens to him.
Yeah, you're jumping way ahead. I
First of all,
jumped
the
one frame.
trailer showed all that in it too.
Yeah, we've already seen the whole movie.
Yeah, we did. Honestly, that trailer is probably the like if you didn't want to watch the movie, just watch that trailer.
Yeah, sums up every little thing in it.
Mike Gussler for $10 in the chat saw Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary yesterday in the cinema. It was one of the best cinematic experiences I've ever had. The space battle and lightsaber duels were amazing to see on screen. I actually small segue, I guess. I mean, we're all used to what I would call used to be Star Wars fans. I actually remember seeing Episode 3 in theaters, and I do agree, it was really cool. I mean, it wasn't the greatest movie ever, but in hindsight, it's way better than everything that would come later.
I
I would
think
have been 12, so it was the perfect age to see that in the theater, which I did with my dad, who was kind of surprised by.
Yeah, I
some of
think
the
I
scenes
was.
that, like the immolation and the decapitation for Dooku, especially because he was so familiar with Christopher Lee. And he was like, "Oh, there he goes."
There goes his head. I remember, and I will never forget, there was a kid in the theater. So I was about 15 or 16. I was 16 when it came out. And there was a kid in the theater who was crying because Anakin turned into Darth Vader. And I was like, I guess he was young. He was very young. He was probably like 4 or 5. And I was like, man, that's the most authentic reaction that anyone could possibly have to this movie, because he was too young for it to really register the OT stuff. So he was really like living the moment, whereas most people that were watching it were, oh yeah, we know what's going to happen, let's just see it happen. So it was actually, I kind of like tried to vicariously live through that kid at that moment.
Yeah, there's certainly a difference between knowing what's going to happen and then knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then seeing all these Disney Plus spin-offs of like the young Jedis and stuff, and you just know later on they all die.
It's like you're gonna get slaughtered. It sucks.
Well, speaking of slaughtered, as Buddy Benson is looking at his decapitated arm, well, acid-tated arm.
Decapitated arm.
I was trying to think, acid-tated arm would make more sense, but yeah.
Dissolved arm.
Dissolved. That's probably the best way to put it. But as that's happening, the facehugger grabs him and then grabs his son, as seen in this extremely blurry, dark shot here. Oh, sorry, finger slipped, because now we're on the Predator homeworld. Does this place actually have a name to it at all?
I'm sure it does.
There's going to be countless like law entries across all kinds of media. Like, obviously, when I say I'm a super fan of Predator, I strictly mean the movies. I adore Predator 1. It's one of my favorite films of all time, as it should be for everybody. But same goes for Alien and Aliens. And so, like, I track everything that happens to them cinematically. But there's shit tons of lore for them outside of that.
Apparently,
waiting.
Apparently, it's called Yautja. I pronounce it Yautja because of but it's Yautja Prime.
It's now called Yautja Prime.
A very inventive name. That's like calling it Earth Human Prime.
Yeah.
But on Yautja Prime, we then get Wolf, the main character of this,
which is not in your notes.
No, I said we were gonna take turns naming this character, but you know what? We'll call him Wolf then. And he's sitting at this massive chair, looking at the footage. I don't know. This is the Predator ship here, so I don't know where this camera angle is coming from.
That's a great question, actually.
Right?
I was more struck by why the fuck was the Predator fiddling with sending a recording to his homeworld as opposed to just detonating? You would solve the whole problem.
No, it's like the police body cams. As soon as something happens, it puts the footage over to the main place.
Predators explode themselves whenever they fuck up. Why wasn't he doing that instead of taking a little footage, putting it on TikTok? Bro, you'll never guess what happened.
So he is very, very upset by this, and he decides, we have to talk about what his motivations are later on, though. I don't want to hold it up, though, but I have no idea what this dude's plan is. What's up with the purple?
Well, his motivation, I understand. He's like some sort of cleaner. He cleans up because they clearly sent this info to him directly. It doesn't go through some, council or anything. I'm not exactly sure but it went right to him, and he immediately was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go fix shit. I'm not even gonna talk to no one." So, and he's got a bunch of helmets.
He's got all the helmets. He's Ramboing up. Jets on a ship. Not a single Predator in this entire scene, and he just jets off to Earth to go solve this problem. I guess
they're all out hunting. They can't.
I could totally bet you that they were like, listen, they had to fight to be able to show that much, because they probably wouldn't want. It's like, you're not allowed to be fucking with the law or something like that. But then, as time goes on, they let Shane Black fuck with it more so than anybody. So what do I know?
I kind of wish it was like the movie, the TV show Invader Zim, where they just give Wolf all these assignments, but they're not really that big of a deal at all. It's like, oh man, we got to send you to this planet. There's an infestation going there, but in retrospect, the Predators do not care. They just want to get rid of them entirely.
It's mosquitoes. It's a crossover with Lilo and Stitch.
Yes, exactly. I want to hope. That's what I want to hope, is that Wolf is just the biggest reject this entire movie, and they just send him off to do.
Yeah, he's clearly living. This isn't Yautja Prime. This is like some colony world that they've abandoned. They just left him there and said, "You protect this."
See, that's better than the actual movie, I think. Our interpretation of it. So then we get to the town, which I kind of don't know where this place is, though. But then we meet the main star of the movie, Dallas, and you could tell he's the main star because of his leather jacket. And he gets off a bus, and what's this guy's name? Morales? Are we going to call him Morales or Sheriff? Yeah. Sheriff, we're going to call him, because the IMDb says Morales. I'm like, I don't recall his name ever in this movie. But
let's see. I'm going to look up which town is in the Gunnison, Colorado. It's pretty flat for Colorado.
Is that a real? I feel like you shouldn't use real places for a movie as bad as this.
I don't think it is. Oh no, it is. It is a
people.
It's a county. It's Crested Butte. I remember that actually. That's what it says on the side of the police car at one point, because I remember it made me think of the joke from Cars where it's like they have Radiator the bumper Springs. Stickers. Well, and it's the Butte, but the bumper stickers say "nice butt" instead.
Oh yeah. I hope the people of this county actually rioted at the theaters after this. But yeah, so he gets picked up by his sheriff friend. Of course, these two have a relationship. Most of this movie is just filling in relationships that mean nothing, especially next scene with Ricky, the pizza guy, who was talking to his boss about how he doesn't want to wear a hat because like a symbol of oppression and crap like that. I think Ricky is one of the worst characters in this because his his motivations change and he goes from being wimp to badass, psychopath to horny teenager again. So
Well, I mean, let's be honest. We all lived as teenage boys. We that's pretty accurate, actually. He's basically like he's blue balls out the ass. He's just like, if I don't get laid, I'm gonna kill someone.
Yeah, he's pretty annoying. But the thing is, I just don't know that he stands out as a shit character to me. They're all so shit.
they're all just one lump of shit.
I could tell. I can almost guarantee you that pizza tastes like trash. It's Colorado.
Oh, of course.
Pizza.
Oh, you know what? He does stand out. He's the one that shot at Wolf. So yeah, I hate him the most.
Why are you spoiling the movie, man?
What do you mean? The trailer
you're
already did it.
Oh, yep, you're right. You're right.
Mikey
So then
Gustler for $5. Off topic. Predator 2 turns 35 years old this year. It would be awesome if they released an extended NC-17 cut of the film.
I
want to see it too?
Really didn't like Predator 2 as much because I was gonna say like the best part about my wife is that she's never watched any movie ever. So one day she's like, "Oh, do you want to watch Predator? I've never seen that before." So now I get to show her all the actual good movies, and we watched Predator 2. I just didn't really feel anything for it.
It's I like aspects of Predator 2. I did like the concept of it being in a city, the concrete jungle concept. A lot of people give Danny Glover shit. I think he did fine. Like obviously he was following in pretty big footsteps. It gets a little long in the tooth toward the end though.
I mean, we're talking about Predator, one of the greatest
Yeah.
horror movies and action movies and just movies in general. And
MauLer, what's your opinion on the Predator 2?
I do not tolerate anyone saying it's as good as or better than the first one. They're not. If they say that, someone's got their family hostage. That's why they said it. There's
There's no way that it's not even close. But it's.
I enjoy it. My take, I guess, is different from a lot of people's assessments. It's a simple one. The first half's pretty damn good. The second half loses it significantly. It goes off the rails. Like storytelling wise, I really enjoy it being in the city. I quite like Danny Glover. I think the cast is actually pretty well characterized. I enjoy watching the Predator's new tech and the way that they contextualize them. The effects are like pretty solid, and the story is being followed quite well. It's when what's his name? I always forget it. It's the Gary Busey's character.
Yeah.
And they do the whole the sequence where they're like trying to trap the Predator and stuff. Like there's so much about that makes no fucking sense at all. It's so weird.
Like where the hell does the upper half of his body go, for instance?
That's a really funny mistake. I don't even know why they couldn't have anticipated that would be weird as fuck when they were making it. It's so funny. For those who don't know, he gets chopped in half and they have this like cinematic shot of watching his legs fall down without a torso, but where's the torso?
It's just suspended above this, behind a cow carcass. Bill Paxton. Some people have mentioned Bill Paxton really makes that movie funny. Unfortunately, he's not in the whole thing. He goes out not pretty early, about halfway through the movie.
That was early, Bill Paxton, so he wasn't going to be a big name back then.
Well, it was post Aliens. He was already becoming a pretty big name at that point.
He is one of the only two people on Earth who have been killed by an alien, Terminator, and Predator. Do you know who the second is?
I think we did this last time. I'll let Joe try it because I know.
I don't. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm trying to. Oh wait. Okay. Wait. It was the other police officer, right? Was it the guy that got the chest burster out in the first Alien movie?
No.
Then I do not know.
It's Lance Henriksen.
I don't know who that is.
That was the detective in Terminator, the white detective, not the black.
Yeah, the guy that said, "Hey, you can punch through a you're on PPC, you can punch through a glass."
PCP.
Right?
Yeah,
that's not the same guy that got the chest burster. No.
He was Bishop in the second movie,
and he got stabbed through the chest by a big old tail.
Mm-hmm. But and I did have one additional. Oh, they're coming in. They're coming in hot today. These super chats. So the $10 from M8566. Thoughts on the Alien versus Predator game 2010? I literally just picked up a copy yesterday. It was I've played it before years ago, and it is on sale currently on Steam for like $3. And I was like, oh fuck it, I'll grab it. Why not?
Didn't even know that was a thing.
It's actually a really solid first person shooter because it allows you to play as all three of them, and it's much different experience with all three of them. Oh, another one from Mikey Gustler, who's apparently clarifying for $5. The upper half falling was shot, but they had to cut it because it was one too many reasons why Predator 2 got an NC-7. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess seeing a completely cut in half torso might raise the rating a little.
But then it makes the scene really silly. But I guess that's what they had to do. Is what they had to do.
So then a lot of this movie is cut into different points of view, though. So we cut to a police officer at a homeless encampment where we meet Harry the homeless man. And is it
Harry the hobo?
Is he here to evict them or something? I don't really know why the police officer.
They can't be hanging out in the sewers. You can't be doing that. You got to go.
They cannot do that. But Butch the dog comes over and brings the dissolved hand of fuck's name, Buddy. Okay.
Buddy.
I was blanking out on the word dissolved. That's why, not the Buddy.
Yeah, well, it's amputated. I think is the word you're really looking for. But I said dissolved because that's basically what happens as soon as the acid touches. It just immediately burns through in like 2 seconds.
This is going to be like last time with the Plaetorians, where I'm not going to be able to get this word correct to save my life.
Yep.
But moving on, we go back to Ricky, who's outside, and I'm pretty sure he's attempting to beat off in his car. Do we have because he looks over at her, he looks over at his crotch, he starts moving, and then he decides to stop because he realizes that he's in broad daylight right outside. As you can see, she's right over there now. But these two, what's her name? Oh, Jessie. That's her name for you guys don't know though.
So many characters to get to know so well.
So much character depth here because Jessie, she's the hot popular girl in school though, so she has the usual schoolyard trope bullies with them, and we don't really know the history between Ricky and Jessie, but apparently there was some tension between them, so much so that her boyfriend jumps Ricky and throws his keys in a sewer next door.
Yep, it's so retarded. It's like he's got all this tension for not wanting to go inside because he knows she's in there and you have a conversation. And I was thinking, that is kind of annoying when you maybe work for a pizza place and you're delivering to friends because they're like, hey, and you're saying whatever. But in my head, I was just like, so you go up to the door, give them the pizza, take the money, and leave. But she's like, oh, you can come in. And he's like, okay, I will. And I was like, why the fuck? What are you doing? Like, you're just gonna. And then the other people like, what is it, Halloween? Which I was like, man, the writing. it's so good.
It was, and I want to know. So we don't have the clip of it, but this guy comes off from an angle that makes absolutely no sense. He's walking, so the door is in line with his car, and this dude like comes from the back of the truck and like blindsides him forward into the front of the truck. I'm like, did he run around the back door? And
I kind of wish it was.
Yeah, like. So you have 3 guys. You don't need a sneak attack. You're more than capable of taking him out.
I actually think this character, the bully man, is like this might be one of the last recorded cases of them being designed in a movie that's modern. It's like a dead species at this point.
I have a really great quote from him later on though that I've got to make sure I remember to put it in here. But he definitely has a very iconic line for such an underrated, useless character.
He is probably the most characterized in the movie. He's just a meathead asshole. That's what they keep telling us over and over and over again. I guess they were worried that we might feel bad for him when he gets his face melted off, which happened in the trailer.
Yes, it does. Which Jessie does say that she's thinking about firing her boyfriend. So Ricky he kind of has.
I'm thinking of acid melting my boyfriend would have been a little bit more on the nose, but they decided to pull that line.
Foreshadowing,
yeah. So, later on, we get to Buddy Benson and son waking up, and of course, the chest burster comes out of the father, and then chest burster comes out of the sun. Like I said earlier in this movie just kills the innocent children.
I wonder about this. Do you think someone was like, "Oh, we'll have a hunter there," and then someone's like, "Yeah, we'll have him with his son. We'll kill a kid. The kid will be like 8. We'll kill him." And then someone was like, "What?" Just,
and they were like, we can't be killing we can't kill a single kid in this movie. They're like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna kill plenty of kids.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be one single one.
Yeah. Fast forward to the hospital.
One thing I did notice so this scene was where I really noticed that the sound mixing in this movie is fucking horrible. So the talking volume is really low decibel, and then the music is medium. And then these scenes, like anything that's like an explosion or in this case a chest burster, we all make YouTube videos when you get that crazy spike and it fucks up the sound, and you have to like lower that section. That's like this scene was like that.
I think they call that peaking.
Yeah, peaking. Yeah.
This movie's a lot of jump scares, so I guess that's what.
But they're not even scary. It's like everybody knows about the chest bursters. Like we've seen it.
It's loud, so they think that it's scary. Just like they think that these two characters talking is character development and everything. Yes, they're just manipulating us as usual, Hollywood. But speaking of manipulations, then we meet what's her name? Kelly. Oh, Taxi arrives and Kelly returns.
Man, what a great character she is.
Oh, absolutely. And this is her husband, I'm assuming. I think it should have been her brother.
Another character. That he is dad man.
Yes, but I think he should have definitely been the brother or something, because she really moves on very fast in this movie, I think. That's like a military thing, but like later on she's
who's like the object of desire for the main character, whatever. They move on from her instantly. Like, of course this guy gets moved on from. Who the fuck cares? He's like a supporting character for a supporting character, so it's so shitty. Unfortunately.
I don't think that so individually some of the scenes in the Blob remake are more gruesome than this, like they are. But I think just the collective totality of how many people get fucked up in this movie that don't deserve it puts it slightly ahead.
I mean, for the record, it's not like we're saying you can't do this in an R-rated Alien vs. Predator. Nothing like that. It's just it makes you wonder sometimes. Like, why did you guys insist so hard on killing so many innocent people, children, and unborn babies and pregnant women? I think they'd be like, "Oh, shock factor." And you're like, "Okay, that's it."
There's some director's commentary somewhere out there that explains all this in great detail, I bet.
Yeah, I wasn't paying for something that had the director's commentary. I found the freeway, like whatever service I had that had this, that was what I was watching it on.
Oh, yeah, it's on Disney Plus, right? This thing?
Yes, it is on Hulu.
Well, yeah, it's on. Well, I think it's technically on Hulu, but Disney Plus absorbs, like, it lets you watch the Hulu stuff.
I just find it so amusing. It's like Disney Plus, and they watch the pregnant women explode.
Well, Disney Plus now has Wolf of Wall Street on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they really know their audience these days. But then we cut to Ricky, who comes into his window, not the front door. Do these people have parents at all?
No.
Because we never actually see a father figure. Because I'm assuming he's going for the window, which means he doesn't want to show his parents, hey, I just got my ass kicked. But Dallas is sitting there already and gives him a speech about not wanting to take revenge, because Ricky then picks up a baseball bat and wants to leave the house to beat up the bullies.
That'll show him.
Yeah. So then we cut back to the homeless camp where Butch the dog starts barking because there's a face. I'm sorry, what is that? A face hugger on his way to the down the sewer pipes, and then the face huggers just start grabbing the homeless people. Yeah,
the homeless.
As seen in these shots right here. Yes. So we actually see a few aliens that are fully formed at this point. I imagine this is the one that came out of Butch and Son, though.
Probably.
Yes, and then we have another homeless woman who stumbles. Just homeless people as far as the eye can see in this movie.
She has some well-kept hair for a homeless woman.
Well, yeah. You have your homeless standards. How else are you going to get those quarters in your coin purse thing, though?
Listen, not many Hollywood productions hire authentic homeless, but they should. You should get them in and be like, look, we need you. We need your on-the-street knowledge and attitudes.
They can't cost that much.
Probably not. They probably get them to do it for free.
Well, the issue would be they wouldn't be in the Screen Actors Guild. That would be the problem. There's no.
Listen, okay, you just do it off the books. You don't really want him to be a part of the Film Actors Guild. I prefer to refer to it. Okay.
So it's going to be like Peter Dinklage talking about dwarf representation. We're going to have homeless Alice here talking about homeless representation.
Look, you shouldn't be playing homeless characters unless you're homeless. Okay.
I love it. I'm going to start a film studio, hire nothing but homeless people. I don't know what I'm going to call it though, but homeless Alice here. I don't know if that's actually her name though. She's going to get killed by one of the aliens, but the predator alien knocks her away because he wants to feed on her instead, as seen in this dark ass slide right here.
Well, I don't think he feeds on her. I think because he has the ability to. We don't see it yet. We don't see it till the hospital scene.
Spoiling it. I was saying we assume we're being fed on at this point.
Fine, whatever. It's you're running the show.
Then we cut to
low on the edge of their seat with this story.
Yeah, I mean, you have no idea with the things that are going to be revealed in the near future.
I took copious notes in this thing. So
that's why, honestly, when you asked me, because like originally I was supposed to do the narration for this, but Joe was like, "Oh, I'd like to get a little bit more practice. Can I do this next one?" I was like, "Have at it." I was like, "I don't even want to try to take notes for this mess."
I remember today when I showed you how many slides I had. It's like, how do you have 190 slides for this movie?
Oh yeah, I was like, how? How do you have that?
I went into detail here. So we cut to low Earth orbit as the predator emerges from the water, and the whole time he's just following the blood samples from all the face huggers and the dead predators. Then he picks up this purple goo here. It looks blue in this scene, but I swear it's purple for some reason. And this purple goo, it just dissolves everything, and we don't really know. But why does he do this? Is it because he wants to keep the secrets safe?
Well, first, MauLer, I think you had something to say about when he crashed into the water.
Did I?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I heard you start to say something.
Let's assume you did.
I got just broad thoughts about all of this that bother me. Like, first of all, why is it that he's collecting weaponry from the ship instead of having brought it with him? That's so weird.
Well, he Rambos up twice, I wrote down.
Yeah, it's so, like, oh, cool, smart discs. It's like, you're a predator. Why the fuck haven't you brought your own? And it's like, oh, a double plasma caster. It's like, why wouldn't you just have that if it's so good? Why don't you have the plasma caster pistol? Why are you making all these choices that make me wonder about everything? And then, of course, yeah, like you've mentioned it, but what is with this fucking dissolve goo? This is such a like writer's trope tool, and it's not going to solve the problem. Do you really think when you arrive on Earth as a predator, it's like, all right, I'm just going to track the aliens and clean them up? Simple as. Like, it's too late, buddy. Especially working on your own. But even a group of like 10 predators wouldn't be able to solve this. It's too late. It's out of control.
This is not any other predator. This is Wolf.
Yeah. He died.
I really hate that I'm not on camera right now because I'm doing that like Italiano like peak thing right now.
This ain't no regular predator here. This is Wolf, goddammit.
Well, he fucking fails, doesn't he? His mission does not go well. He's lucky the humans do it for him.
So he's looking over at the dead predators and he's just symbolically rubbing their heads and
yes, he's just like yes, this is he it's like the equivalency of when someone in a movie with they like the person walks up and covers the eyes and like pushes them down, but he's wearing a mask. So like, why the hell did you just do that?
I mean, I'm just,
shut up! It's Requiem.
Like, his fallen brother. I just like fallen retard. It's like you fucking morons. You ruined everything by being stupid. But he, it's like respect. It's like fine, I'll allow it. I'm just annoyed at all of you for being stupid.
That's what Requiem means. Clearly,
2 euros. Is that's the euro symbol, right?
No.
Yes.
Okay, 2 euros from Dick Shaft. One of my favorite names. Your new film series should be called Bumhouse.
Love it.
Totally. I do want to say I did see one a little bit back from Blue Collar Loser. I'm just going to save that one for later. I did see it though.
So after he puts his hand on the predator's head, so he starts the bomb back up and blows the ship up. Again, he's trying to dissolve them to get rid of the evidence and make things quiet. So he decides, I'll just blow up the ship and make all the noise in the world.
even though it's like a catastrophic event. And I don't know. It's just, why didn't the Predators do this? Why isn't there a protocol that would allow this to happen if the ship would have a catastrophe? Why wouldn't there be automatically messages sent out? Why are they only doing one Predator for cleanup?
Why can't Wolf just remote blow up the bomb then? Like,
There's
if you
so
can
many
see the ship, can't you just blow up the bombs if things get
We
bad?
don't even know 3/4 of the characters' names. That answers all the questions.
Worst part is we're like 5 minutes into this movie too. That's the worst part.
Well, it gets really quick pretty soon. Like, people
yeah.
just. I forgot to point this out because I guess you didn't have a screenshot. She's like some sort of pilot in the Air Force or the Army or something. I don't remember.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's how she's able to pilot the helicopter later.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
she just brings her daughter like several $1,000 pair of night vision goggles that they would never just give her. So
Well,
she
they
stole
did, but
American
you are wrong.
Army equipment and just gave it to her daughter.
It happened in the movie, therefore you are wrong.
Yes, I must
feel.
And also, I think anyone could fly a helicopter given the right circumstances. So later on, she does fly it, but I think anyone else could have flown it too.
It's like that scene in Me, Myself, and Irene when the three black sons like teach themselves how to fly a helicopter in 5 minutes at the end of the movie. It's just lift first dragon rotation, motherfucker.
Why aren't we watching that movie instead?
We can one day.
I love that one. So sorry guys. We have a very touching scene here where the parents are reading their daughter a bedtime story. And then we cut to Dallas and Ricky going through a manhole because they threw the keys into the sewer. So wouldn't you kind of assume that they should be right there? But instead they said, okay, we're going to go into a manhole down the street and then try to go through and find
There's
the
not
keys.
Always, first of all, it's a maintenance hatch, you bigot.
Oh
and
my god.
Second of all, they're not always right next to every drain, so that's not super unrealistic. It could be that this is a relatively small town. They might just have ones at the end of the roads, and they have to then walk down them, kind of thing.
There is no way you're gonna find the keys.
Oh no, that's unrealistic. They never find these keys.
There's no way you're getting those keys back.
Yeah.
So help me out here because I have not seen the Alien movies in a lifetime. Is this all Shedden from the?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically the simple life cycle is facehugger, chest burster. It gets a little bigger and becomes the larval stage, then sheds this skin and becomes the black skinned, whichever one it is, depending on the DNA of what it merged with.
Because if Wolf is there trying to dissolve all the remnants and evidence of this, he has to also go through 30 skins
It's
too,
not
just
possible.
No,
I know that too.
he actually later on, I'll point out, he leaves technology behind in a couple of scenes. I'll point out at least one of them. I'm sure you'll have the
oh yeah,
clip of.
absolutely. Yeah, so they're going through this. So they're going through the sewers, and of course Dallas is doing the older brother stuff of oh, what's her name? You're not just rummaging through the shit if it's not a girl. We've all been there.
That. He says nobody goes digging around in shit for just some girls. Yeah, no shit. I'm doing it for my keys to my car. What are you talking about? This doesn't help me with a girl. This is just me trying to get my car back.
I hate that I just realized that too.
Yeah, it was a dumb line.
I was harping on the line. I'm like, wait a second, he's absolutely right. He literally has no car right now. Can't deliver pizzas by hand.
Yeah, it's like he's gonna lose his job. That's basically what's gonna happen.
So then we cut to
I'm very upset, by the way. They say a line. It's like, oh, you only got this. I only got this job. You only got this job because your guidance counselor begged me. And he's like, oh, well, it's because she's hot. And I'm like, and they never show the fucking guidance counselor. Let us be the judge, damn it.
You work at fucking Pizza Hut. They hire criminals.
Fuck yeah, criminal pizza.
Yes. So then we cut to the search party out for Buddy Benson and Child. So it's obviously a small town. Everyone's out there, and the sheriff is talking. But I think her name is she's not Kelly. She's doesn't matter. We'll give her a different name though.
She's person who's missing her entire family, and no one seems to really give too much of a shit after this scene.
His
They do
story's
not-
funny if you look at it from start to finish, just constantly seeing people die, losing everyone she loves, and then she gets nuked.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Things do not work out for this woman at all throughout this entire movie.
Yeah, she's the last 24 hours of her life, not the best.
No.
24 hours is like a 2-hour event, pretty much.
Well,
don't
no,
think
it has to be at least. I think it has to be at least 24 hours because it's the one
Oh,
night
yeah.
happens,
my
then
mistake.
it's the daytime the next time, and then the last event happens at night. So it's got to be at least 24 hours.
Wow. Oh, yeah, you're right, though. But
You
she's
think they
never
know
gonna
how
see...
time works.
Yeah. But she's never going to see the bodies of her children or her son and husband again because the Predator finds his the bodies and dissolves them with the goo. And as that's happening, we have a police officer that's watching this from a distance, but his radio goes off, and the Predator...
I hate this shit. The Predator getting sneaked up on. It's like, come on.
It's
It's
impossible.
not like this guy is stealthing. He's just walking around in the forest. Like, Predator.
Well,
I'm
he's
just
behind a
fucking-
tree, and you know,
And he's like a
dark.
local Colorado cop. He's not gonna like. He's not like elite. He's gonna step
No.
on sticks and shit. It's like,
It's not Reacher or someone like that. Yeah, so he sees the Predator and he goes into camouflage mode, and I don't really know what he stabs him with the spear, but the
no,
blood
that's
comes-
his claws.
The
It's
claws,
his claws.
yeah.
Oh, okay, my mistake then, guys. Yeah, but
It's hard to see.
killed
I
him.
don't blame you.
Yes, absolutely. So the next morning, the woman's still out there putting out signs for Buddy Benson and Child, and she's handing them out to people, but people really do not care that much.
Wait, go back. That guy's supposed to be 34 years old.
It's a rough 34.
Holy
36,
shit! No,
right?
I don't ever want to hear somebody say that I look old for 36 ever again. I'm gonna show them that picture.
Well,
That
this
guy's
is-
clearly 50.
Yeah, this guy looks a lot older. But
A lot
yeah,
of
then we get
hunting, okay.
What was that, MauLer?
He's done a lot of hunting, so he's aged up. He's
just
a grizzled
wears
vet.
he just wears and tears on you. So then we get to the diner scene, and Sheriff's sitting down with Dallas, and they're talking about Dallas looking for a job, and for some reason he doesn't want to join the police force, even though the sheriff kind of tells him that he could, but it wouldn't look good.
Well,
if
I don't think
did.
Well, he's a former criminal. He probably couldn't anyway. But who knows? I mean,
I can't imagine he wouldn't be able to. There's really no police in this place. Obviously, after the last
Yeah.
scene with other guy killed, there's even less. But
and they
could
lost
pretty
half
sure-
the force.
Do you just grab like the you could tell the writers were up to something like, oh, it's the sheriff working with a ex-con and they're gonna fight aliens together. That never really there was nothing really. The only payoff I can think of is they need to break into that place. And the sheriff is like, can't believe I'm letting you do this. It's like, see, because he's the sheriff and he's encouraging a criminal to break the law. That's like the payoff. And that's it.
well, that's how it is. They had the line first, and then they built the story around that.
I honestly think that a writer was like, it's so genius to have a sheriff and an ex-con working together, and then they never did anything with that.
It's
This
like, wow, I'm the
movie-
first one to do that.
This
Yeah.
movie, this it's not exclusive to this. You see this a lot. It almost feels like they wrote individual scenes and were like, "That'd be cool. This would be cool." And then at the end, they had a dozen scenes that they all thought would be cool, and they had to write some sort of really loose story to connect those dozen scenes. That's what a lot of this movie feels like.
I kind of want to take this movie, maybe just like a new thing on my channel, where I take a really bad movie and see if I can make it good, or at least digestible a little bit.
Honestly, if you were to cut some of the fluff from this, it would be a decent TV pilot.
It just seems
Like
like
get it down to an hour from that hour and a half marker. Cut out some of the more pointless characters, some of the deaths that don't matter, and you would have a decent pilot for a Predator Alien TV show.
That's a lot of fluff you're cutting out there, and a
But,
lot
I
of
mean,
characters.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of pointless characters and stuff that doesn't need to be there.
Yes, that's true. And including this character here, I guess this is the girlfriend of the police officer that got killed, because she's saying, "Oh, he didn't return home last night," and sheriff's like, "Oh, no, he's still out there looking for this kid, clearly." But oh yeah, then we cut to the guy strung up and dead. Just the Predator just. Like, yeah,
Just
it was
same.
that was the next scene. It's like, oh, he's probably fine, and it cuts to, oh, this guy is dead and skinned and hanging from a tree. So the Predator, Wolf Predator, came here to stop the alien invasion, killed a dude, and then said, "You know what? I'll take 5 minutes to skin him and hang him from a tree."
Well, did the guy even attack? He just ran away, didn't he?
He ran away. He heard his radio went off. The predator turned at him, and then he ran off and then got killed.
For a cleanup crew predator, seems a little time consuming and unnecessary to do this, but it's like, but you gotta, because it's predator. It's like, okay.
Well, that's they had their checklist of here's all the things we have to do predator related. So, but that's part 1 of our thing. Dark Eye would be able to go to part 2, please.
There you go.
Thank you. And then we cut to the coroner, and for some reason, the coroner tells the sheriff that he's in over his head. I don't think we really know what the perspective of the townspeople are of what exactly is happening. Do they think that there's a bear or something, or a psychopath or something? Because even if it's one person,
or a psychopath bear,
Man bear pig.
Yep, the worst kind.
Melvin, I was saying you'd probably have to trim about 30 minutes out, and that's like some of the pointless deaths, the characters that don't do anything whatsoever. Like, there's a lot of pointless characters.
The pointless deaths, as in all the babies that got killed in this movie.
Yeah. So you could probably, if you trim this, if you took some of it, trimmed it down to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, you get a, I'm not saying a good pilot, a decent, not the worst thing you've ever seen pilot, but there's like 5-10 minute spurts that nothing really happens for a while, except like that until another death occurs. So
I see someone put in the chat Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear is like Schindler's List compared to this movie. I enjoyed Cocaine Bear a lot, actually.
Cocaine Bear was fun. I don't care what anybody says.
It was different, you know.
It's one of
But
Ray
yeah, so
Liotta's last movies.
It's
what
what?
would you say?
One of Ray Liotta's last movies.
Yeah,
what a way to go!
It was the first one that came out right after his death. I think he has like 2 others that they're still finishing, I guess. I don't understand
how that happens. I mean, like when Robin Williams died, then like 10 years later, more movies are coming out.
It's because they have to so if he was an important character in the movie and he died while they were filming, they now need to retool a lot of scenes and change his lines to other people. So it basically halts production for however long they need to make it work.
Oh, okay. Oh, then we cut to Ricky talking with Jesse, and she informs him that she has fired her boyfriend. So Ricky now has a shot at Jesse, it seems.
Wow.
And we see here the Predator has came to the homeless encampment because he followed all the blood stains. And I think we have our first fight scene. If you will you be able to get the clips up for me?
Oh yeah, sure. They're in order though, right?
Yes, of course they're in order.
Okay, I'm just double checking.
A fucking
Dude,
Diglett.
It is so fucking dark.
The bad part is it looks kind of cool, right? Like,
This is what I'm saying. I think they underestimated how good looking their prosthetics were. For some reason, they felt like darkening them up, but like they look okay. You should be a little bit more bold, I think.
No,
Dehands.
I put the video on YouTube last night. There was no problem with it. So
I honestly think you could upload this whole movie and you wouldn't have a problem. I don't think the YouTube bots would be able to figure out what we were seeing. The sound might be a problem, but if you uploaded the entire thing without sound, I almost guarantee you that big chunks of it wouldn't even get noticed.
I also really like the look of Wolf, so it's just like stop wasting it by making everything so dark. I can't even see his fucking helmet.
I like that he had that little Falcon Punch gauntlet on him.
Yeah, he
the
like
first time I
powers
watched
up
it,
his claws and like punches through the concrete.
Yeah, the first time I watched this, I kind of forgot that happened. So, but yeah, I do like the technology. I find later on when the humans get a piece of technology, they overcompensate of how cool this is, though. But I think he has a lot of great gadgets, and unfortunately, they just dropped the ball with everything with this, pretty much.
One thing. So this, I said earlier that he leaves technology behind. This is the first instance where he leaves technology behind. He has those. Yeah, he has those like laser trap things that he puts on the wall.
Oh,
Just leaves them
yeah.
behind.
No,
The homeless
he
take
went,
'em.
he went and got him back off screen. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Oh, the homeless are playing with them right now.
Could you imagine though? You're like, you're just a guy who's just working that night, and all of a sudden you're like, what is this? You go to stick your hand in, just cuts your hand right off.
Wait
You're
a
like, "Oh."
Nope, I actually saw this. It does not get left behind because of the final events of the movie.
Well, yeah, I guess technically nothing gets left behind, but he was going to leave it behind. He had no interest in not going back to get it.
Hold on
I
a second.
mean-
We're not saying Wolf is competent at all. Remember,
Yeah.
he's the invader sim of the group.
So yes, they do eventually blow up the town, but he himself did not go. Was totally cavalier about leaving that shit behind.
Well, he has the mission of getting the Alien. That's why it's revenge.
Brooks,
It's clout.
he's in the chat. Brooks, just so you're aware, this is the first entry in terrible sequels. You're coming back for Blade Trinity, my brother.
Again, how is Blade Trinity a bad movie?
I just know Jedi Brooks doesn't want to do it. I'm going to force him to somehow.
Oh, we're doing that. That and Gladiator 2.
Ugh.
That's going to be
Well,
Platoon's.
well,
Platoon's the one that he has to
Hold
do.
on, does MauLer have an opinion of Gladiator 2?
I haven't seen it. I don't want to. Everyone has told me to stay away, so I did.
Well, if you've seen the first one, you've seen the second one. Pretty much.
I like the first one.
Then you
I
will love
continue
the
to
second
like
one. And then we cut to the diner where I forgot her name. We're gonna call her Daisy for a
That's
day.
MauLer. That's MauLer right there. That's the one that I used for MauLer. In the
Did anyone get a weird vibe from Chef Man with this?
Yes.
scene?
You mean the chef
Why-
that invites her over to stay with him and his wife for the night?
They do a couple of the way they shoot him is very like suggestive, and then he's just dead. It's like, oh, okay.
He's like-
I think they were going for look at this kind man who's trying to take care of it. Aw, and that's going to be sad when you find out he's dead. But the interpretation I got was that he's being a little too familiar, you know? And
Yes.
something's going on there. I thought that's what they would do it. I completely forgot that it's just no. He's just a guy who gets killed. You're like, oh,
We had Ricky beaten off in his car, ready to deliver pizza. So if you were to tell me that everyone in this thing is just a degenerate, I wouldn't be surprised.
So all I can imagine is that he's really he's just shooting his shot. You know, it's the MJ thing. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. He's like, you know what's really good for getting over your like dead husband of less than 5 hours? A change in lifestyle would be really good for you.
sorry. I just appreciate
Wow.
that comment in chat. Being like, we have to watch this film in night vision. Like that's the intention. You gotta put the goggles on, then you can see the whole thing. It's like.
I don't know, like if I put it to the editing software and just like color graded or something like that, could we actually see this movie?
I don't think you could. You have to. We need the brightness up. It's not about the grade, right? It's like they fucking turned all the lights off when they were filming.
Another friend of the channel, True Pop Culture 7 for $1.99 in Imperial monies. The first film was my guilty pleasure. This one is ass. How dare you, sir? This is a cinematic masterpiece.
I
This
think
is-
our conclusion was that we like the first one, right?
yeah, it was definitely
It was
like
fun. I would say that. You know, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't overbearing. It didn't have 1,000 characters we didn't care about. It was a
well, it did. It just killed them off really early, like really fast. They all died within the first like 15 minutes of them being in the facility, so you kind of forget about them quickly.
Speaking of forgettable characters, as she leaves the to go into the dining room, she hears a crash of plates and comes back, and the sous chef is dead, and the alien is ready to kill her. But in typical fashion, the Alien knocks away the other
Praetorian
alien.
Guard here.
The Praetorian Alien. We are not doing that again. The Praetorian Alien is now the name of this thing, though, and he decides to, kill Kelly, as we assume. I'm sorry, not Kelly, whatever her name is. So for
Honestly,
some
wait,
reason-
go back to that one. Go back to that one. This is a great still because it implies something else is about to happen for sure. Just based on the positioning of the mandibles and stuff. It's
And from what we learn later on, that's exactly what does happen.
yes, and I wonder what the popcorn bucket would be like. What was the popcorn bucket for Alien Romulus? What was that one?
It was just
like
the
an
alien head, where you turn
Yes.
upside down. It looks like a penis.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is you need for your popcorn bucket to be successful. It's so weird that this is now the economy of movie theaters, but for your popcorn bucket to be successful, it requires a degree of fleshlightitude.
I was so disappointed that my theater did not have the Dune 2 sex popcorn bucket, and they wanted me to drive an hour and a half away to get this bucket. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
There was a guy who got a shirt made that just said, "I'm here to fuck the bucket." That's it. That's all he was.
I just want to take the bucket and just go to every theater. Like, oh no popcorn, just fill it with butter, please.
Yes, just the butter.
So our Chad Wolf Predator decides to go to the power plant and start just for some. He is the worst shot of this movie. I don't really know why. I thought the Predator equipment allowed like lock on and stuff like that, but for some reason he just shoots different things. And
so this is the power plant, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason why I find issue with this, because he's been missing since ever been on screen. The Predator, he does miss, but it's only because of the travel time of the plasma caster shot, I guess. Because it's going on the target, but if the target's moving, then they're probably going to be able to dodge it. But anyway, he should recognize exactly what this place is pretty easily, and just shooting it randomly is going to cause major issues in terms of attracting attention. And it seemed like that was something he wanted to avoid, but then when he does actually deactivate the entire thing, he like roars in celebration somewhat, and I was like,
It's like he wants to be as stealthy as possible, so let me nuke the Predator ship, and then use my goo to make sure there's no evidence. But then let me blow up everything I can possibly see.
Like,
in
I'm going to blow up the
possible.
source of power for all of these creatures in this area. I'm sure they won't mind.
Can you imagine him just going over there, just pouring a little bit of the goo, and the entire power plant just doesn't exist anymore? It's just like,
you do wonder what would happen if he poured it into the ocean.
Well, we do see that later on, though.
Well, it's with the pool, but I mean, the ocean is a bit larger than a pool.
Yeah, like twice.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, it's at minimum twice. But one thing that's crazy about it to me is that it's not a big bottle that he took with him. It's about the size of. It's probably about like 4 to 8 ounces, like in that range. Yeah. And he pours the whole thing every time, and then there's more in it the next time he needs it. It's like it's creating it from nothing. But
not to look too deeply into this movie, but what is the time frame? Because we're again at nighttime. This is all the diner is closed for the night. The Predator was there. So during the daytime, is he just hunting aliens all day? I don't really know what exactly he does.
He's got to sleep.
He might be napping, or he might be journaling. He might be writing in his little journal.
Please give me a version of this where the Predator is journaling of his daily routines.
I've successfully hung up one of the guys and now melted more shit. That's the whole thing it says. But in those weird.
Today I was hunting the bird alien again. No success.
It'd be even better if it was like an old, it'd be even better if it was like an old timey, like my dearest random.
He's writing back home to somebody.
I almost had him, but it escaped yet again.
He's writing back to Scar, clearly his love interest.
Aww.
See, we just gave this movie more depth than it actually deserves.
Now it has the character it needed.
Exactly. Unlike this character, just random worker at power plant that just gets his head obliterated.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
I really liked him too.
I know. We learned so much about this man. And then we go back to
that's the opposite of an advertisement for safety helmets, by the way. OSHA would be like, if only he had a slightly better one.
But then we get to Ricky and Jesse at the school, and she says that she taped the lock shut, so they can go.
No one noticed. No one noticed that the door didn't click shut.
In the school that later on we see, it's chained up like the movie Lean on Me. Every single door in this movie has chains on it, but no. Jesse taped the lock shut so they can go skinny dipping in this pool. But the bullies come out. I like the black guy with his neck. He's just cranking his neck ready to do this.
I just love the fact that they spawn here as like the writers just like, I don't know, the bullies arrive.
But I don't stupidly I don't have a shot of this though. But they go in through one door and then the bullies pop in through the door across the way. So Jesse just taped every door unlocked.
Maybe
I guess?
they're the ones who put all of the chains on the locks.
Oh my god, maybe it is.
Depth. Deleted
like a-
scene.
There's like
them
a
walking
3-hour
around.
cut of this somewhere. How come we didn't get the director of this movie on for this video?
I probably could have, to be honest with you.
What else is he up to?
I mean, holy shit! I'm gonna see if I can reach out to one of them right now.
Perfect. They're probably in the chat right now.
You know,
Can
I
I-
find the
can-
stereotype funny too. It's like at least they've given, as shit as it is, a motivation for the main bully, but the other two are literally just like his subordinates who follow him like fucking stormtroopers.
Well, the bully does have one of the most iconic lines I've heard in a while of, I taught this little slut everything she knows.
All
It's like you
right.
hear a line like that, just go, ugh.
Well, I'm not sure if this is his real Twitter account, but if this is a very unpopular. He only has 15 followers. I don't.
Oh my god, that's probably him.
It looks like him. I can't message him. He's got it locked down. Those 15 people are really trying to get a hold of him.
After this movie, I could see why he locked it out. Yep. So the bullies do some. They decide to tackle the kid and Ricky into the pool. They don't try to drown him though. It's not like they're malicious. They're all psychopaths or something like that. They just fight him and then all jump into the pool together. I don't understand why though. Yeah, back at the power plant, the predator is just
They
blind-
just splash around, just have some fun in the water. They're like, this is what bullying is, right, guys? Huh?
Yeah, this movie really does a lot of quick cuts of like, oh, they're in the pool, and here's the predator, shooting stuff, and then we're back at the pool. And as you can see from this very blurry shot,
The only reason why that predator even got in is because she taped the lock.
yes,
You should
That's-
thank her for that.
wait, so they're like the aliens from Signs, where can they not do doors or something like that?
Well, if they were the
Well-
aliens from Signs, he'd be dead right now.
Oh, wow, you're right.
Water,
Never mind
yeah,
then.
it'd be.
Ooh,
All right,
that'd
so
be
they're
rough
like the
walking in
raptors
a-
from Jurassic Park, then, where now they can open up doors.
No, I mean, I don't think that that's true. I was just joking about the fact that she taped the lock. I don't think that they're actually have problems with
Imagine-
doors.
How horrifying it would be to toss a Signs alien into a pool, though. Ugh.
That would look really bad.
Yeah. It's like 20 years ago, I was always afraid to jump into pools at nighttime because of shit exactly like this, where I would just
I mean-
imagine something would grab me.
Side note: I actually I enjoy Signs. I don't know why people give it shit.
I don't see how someone could not enjoy Signs.
I don't think it's the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I enjoy it.
I think
No,
after
what
that
a
movie, I
hot
had a
take.
water.
What was that, MauLer?
What a hot take. Not the greatest movie I've ever seen. Come on, you're not allowed to say that. That's like the go-to line for defending a film. I'm not saying it's the greatest movie.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay. I would
But
say
we do have a
Signs-
we do have before we continue that thought. We have a $5 super chat from I can't Has. I can't Has.
I can't fast.
I can't has. There we go. Okay, that's what it is. I saw this movie at midnight with a bunch of other broke college students. How the hell did they get into the fucking movie then? The entire
They
theater.
taped the lock shut. That's how.
They taped the lock
The
shut.
lock open. Yeah.
Gowned in agony for the price of pizza.
You know,
Wait,
you
what?
have to
the
see
entire theater gowned in agony and the price of a
for the price of a pizza.
of the pizza. In the theater?
They talk about how much the pizza is in this movie. I think that's why.
Oh, yes, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
53 something. I remember seeing that, and I was like, that's actually not. If
Oh,
you get a deal, that's not that crazy off for 4 pizzas. If you get like a 2 for buy one get one half deal or something.
Yeah, with coupons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I see that they're saying Amelia's saying the chat Mel Gibson's cool, but Signs is not one of his best movies. There is a difference between like a great movie with like an iconic scene of that with the alien walking across. Like that's still one of the scariest scenes ever.
I actually
the birthday
prefer the one
party?
where he looks out the window and sees it across the this.
Yeah, I like that more. The rooftop where he notices there's actually a person there. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, because it sets up with that one. I know that's not the movie we're doing, but where she's like, "There's a monster outside my room, and can I have water?" And basically, he ignores the monster outside of my room and just gets her the water because she thinks she's just like crazy. And he's sitting there, and then he notices that she wasn't bullshitting. So that scene kind of hits you a little harder, I think.
Do you have a screenshot? I know this is extremely unusual, of the pizzas on the table.
Might. It would be in the first set. I can look.
They
Can
brought
I-
the pizza at Jesse's house?
Can I share
I
a
can-
screen, or how do I do that?
Yeah. So it's down at share, and I can pull it up. It's
Damn it, I
at
don't
the
even know
bottom.
how this works on the other fucking thing. Let's
There's
see.
yeah, so you click the big circle that says share with the computer monitor, and then there should be share screen, share video. If you share the screen, just that window, I should be able to pull it up.
I'm looking at, where is this sick? Oh, now I see.
It's at the
it.
bottom.
Share. I understand.
This is because MauLer uses a much better way of doing this and just has his screen shared and stuff.
Window.
Hmm.
Alien versus Predator. Beautiful. Okay, I think I'm doing it.
Yeah, I got it.
So this is the most tension that was in the actual film at any point. Can you see how the table ends there and the pizza boxes? I saw
holy
this and I was like, "Oh my god, they are gonna fall any second now!" Like, he's placed them awfully. What is he doing? And they go through the whole scene. They don't topple over, but it was seconds away. And yeah, it's a good horror moment, I would say.
This is why the director's Twitter's locked out.
Yes, I mean
That's
that's
spamming that.
if there's no better way to show that those are just prop boxes with nothing in them because the weight would.
Wouldn't it have been better if he's flirting with her and then the pizza just falls down?
I think so.
Like that would have.
I think it would have added depth. The character, he would have had to go back, explain to his boss why the pizzas didn't. There's because the boss does come back. Don't forget that.
The boss comes back.
Yeah, he's in later on. They like pick him up. Same dude.
Oh, well, I did not notice that.
Yeah,
But-
he's like, I'm going in the tank. That's his big line later.
Oh my god,
That's
that was
the guy?
pizza guy. Okay, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was him.
Oh, was he not wearing his pizza outfit?
Yeah,
How would
he
I
took
know who-
that. You see, there was the joke that they missed, and I realized that. I was like, all he had to do, like, and it would have been a great payoff to the whole sequence with, you have to wear the hat. If he would have been like, you're not wearing your hat, people would have actually been a well-written little tiny callback to the beginning.
See, it's not like Shaun of the Dead where, you have red on you or something like that. Another director would have probably definitely done that.
I mean, the actor should have noticed that shit. That's
Yeah.
something that the actor should have been like, hey, I have an idea. Why don't I tell him he's not wearing his hat? I said, I said that like 40 times in all the takes that we had to do.
There should have been a moment where he puts the hat on and the music gets all dramatic because he realizes that maybe being part of a team is better than being the lone wolf individual.
Wow.
He's like, and then when he puts it on, he turns to the camera and goes, it's pizza time.
See, we are
Oh,
writing
yeah,
this movie.
That's just ripping off Spider-Man. We can't have that.
There's certain movies you cannot rip off, and you're right though. But this movie rips off the usual trope of killing off the black guy. Yeah.
True. Out he goes. They do get
Yep,
the other
yep.
subordinate bully as well. It's like the main bully's lifeline, like these two, they're extra lives in a way.
You know what?
They're both
When I
gone.
first saw it, I thought this was the main bully. So like for the rest of this movie, I thought that the main bully was dead, and then he just shows up later on. Like, oh, it was that guy? Okay. The no-name ones get killed. So yeah. And then the little girl is using the night vision goggles. Remember that from earlier? And she calls to her parents and says, "There's a monster outside my room. Can I get a glass of water?" And the father's like, "There's no monsters outside." And then there's a monster outside.
And they get them.
And as you saw from the trailer, it just kills him. And then as soon as Kelly realizes that now she's single, she just gets the little girl and runs.
The little girl's run is fantastic. She does like the excited run with the arms in the air. She's like,
But that's what I
like
was
she
saying.
just like she just saw a big person, like a person in a big costume of her favorite character at a birthday party. Like that's the run she does.
That is the motivation they gave this little girl.
It's like it's not a monster. That's from Alien Kids World. That's what he's from. Go run over there.
But I really hate how Kelly just watched, her husband is now being eaten by this alien, and she doesn't remotely grab a gun or do anything, just runs instantly. I did not like that at all.
I mean, I'd probably get the fuck out of Dodge too if I saw that happen.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you're establishing she's
I would
military.
mourn later, I think. but
she does not mourn later.
she doesn't. That's what I'm saying. That's
She
the
is
difference.
ready for Dallas after this scene.
But I would assume that this is actually probably fight or flight kicking in, and it was very flight. She's also taking the daughter with her, so if she stays and fights, then the daughter's by herself. So it makes more sense than just.
Okay, I understand that a little bit. Yeah. So after that scene, we for some reason see the the alien dragging the body of one of the bullies. Don't really know why.
Oh,
because
this
later
is bullshit. It just
this is
keeps
bullshit.
poking
The
him.
movie.
He keeps poking him with the mouth thing, and it's just like, what are you doing? He's dead. You can't impregnate him, and what are you just poking him? It's going plack plack plack, and then the predator appears behind it and kills it. And I was like, what was the alien doing?
I'm telling you, there must be a director's commentary with like a 3-hour cut of this movie where he
Explain all of it.
explains. Yeah, because that's a great point. Why? Because I thought when I first saw it, though, it was a predator alien trying to impregnate them. But why are you tenderizing this dead body? You're not eating him.
Yeah, they definitely. Oh, go ahead, MauLer.
On that note, by the way, I was just gonna say this movie did it didn't like flop hard. It did okay-ish, and like it crossed just above, not enough to make another movie, of course, but still, it's just like I've always known it to have never made its money back. But I was looking at the box office, and I was like, oh, it's not like the worst result ever. It's just not enough to continue.
It tripled its money, and it was a $40 million budget, so it made 100. I mean, we hadn't really seen up to this point. We didn't see the $1 billion movies. I think we were still a year.
Yeah,
weren't we still like a year away from Dark Knight really taking this by storm? And that was like 500 million, and that was considered insane.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, like the rep of this movie, I think, is what annihilated its future because it's just known as the worst. Like everyone hates it.
But then they made like 10 more afterwards.
Well,
yeah, but not AVP.
Yeah, but still in the same vein of that these movies have not gotten better.
No, because when did Predators come out? Is that 2010 or am I misremembering that?
But the
I'll look
Adrian
it up.
Brody one or the other one?
Yeah, that's the Adrian
Brody
Brody
one.
one. I
was
think it
a
came out
weird
a couple
one.
years after this. Yeah, let's see.
It's like, yeah, Adrian, get as jacked as
I
human
want to
as
say,
possible
yeah,
for-
2010. You were right on the money. I was going to say 2011, but 2010.
Because that didn't really change anything. It like came out and people were like, and then that was that.
Yeah.
It was at that point they should have realized that the shelf life of the Predator as a IP was kind of done in terms of big cinematic stuff. It still has its niche in the comic world and like the collection world, and there's still a very die-hard community that likes it, but as a blockbuster it had far since run its course.
Wait, I need to. Is this actually true though? Like, I'm going to highlight a comment here that was directed by the same guy that did Skyline.
I
Did you guys see Skyline?
No,
I did not.
Skyline was dreadful, and the power of love stopped a man from becoming mind controlled by an alien.
Well, they were the producers. They weren't the oh no, they were the directors as well. Holy
That's
shit.
even worse.
I thought you were
Sorry,
saying to, like defend that. You go, well, the power of love is strong, and like it should.
No, no, that was just me shitting on it.
No,
Yeah,
I love to defend dumb shit, but that I can't. But I realize why I just got that wrong, because they were the producers for something called Skylines, which I guess is
That's the sequel.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the first one before we talk about the sequel.
I mean, I don't want to talk about either of them.
Oh, we're doing it. We're gonna have to. That's
Yeah.
when my birthday comes up. We're doing that one.
Great. Why do I give people power?
I don't know, because you knew I was just gonna use it for a terrible movie.
Yeah.
So the Predator, after he stabs the alien, he throws him in the pool with the dead body and throws his goo in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that just dissolves everything. We see that later on, though. But then we cut to the sheriff at the power plant, and Dallas shows up, and then of course Ricky shows up, and Jess and Bully shows up, and they're all there saying, "Hey, there's something at the school killing people." But at this point, do they even assume what it is at this point?
Well,
they being murdered by a thing, and they don't know what it is.
I mean, the doctor says something along the lines of like, you need to be really strong to basically pull skin off of a human like this, or something like that. So I guess they're thinking it's not human, but I'm guessing that they thought it was like an animal or something, but like it didn't make sense to them because it hung it up on a tree.
Yeah. Yep. So they go to the school, but thankfully, Jesse taped the locks unlocked, so they were able to get him with no problem though. And the whole pool is empty, and for some odd reason, there's blood stains everywhere. And for some reason, for some reason I wrote down Eddie. No, it's the sheriff. He for some reason doesn't want to call the National Guard yet. I don't know what his aversion to calling for more help is.
Do they know about the power station having gone down yet? They do, right?
Yeah, they were just at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were out here, and it's all exploded.
So we got that plus loads of murders, missing people. It's like all in the span of what, maybe a day. Plus.
A day, yeah. Well, that's what happens in a small town.
Yeah, weird things. I don't know. Probably kill a clown. That's pretty common.
Jason Aldean's song is bullshit. They just let all this stuff happen.
Yeah.
Her name is Darcy. That's the woman that lost her Buddy Benson and child. Yeah, so she goes to the diner, and she finds that waitress is dead.
Stomach's missing. You got her freak out to the cop is the best acting in the whole movie.
Yes.
I felt something. You guys clearly you're just cynical. That's what that is.
I'm heartless and
favorite character.
I'm heartless and tired at this point. Yeah, so remember in the first Predator movie when the Predator got injured and he had to stab himself with that needle and then like roar and stuff like that?
It was to pull the bullet out. That was what it was. But A and CZ, yes, we all completely forgot this movie happened. Yeah, in the first Predator, he pulls the bullet out with like basically like what is it?
Tongs and
not
stuff.
pliers, they're forceps. And then the one you're thinking of is in Predator 2, he stabs himself with the thing and burns the bullet hole shut. That was like the expansion of the first aid scene.
First aid scene.
Yeah.
Well, in this one, I think he just stabs himself with the needle.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's pretty messed up at this. Our boy Wolf is not doing so well here. But of course, here's the expert acting from Darcy as she runs in front of the sheriff's vehicle to tell them that there's dead people. And then,
I see dead people.
Yes. So they realize that there we have friends become enemies as they realize that man we have to deal with this ourselves. But really quickly before this, she runs into as you can see here. There's all cars here. Like the town knows that something's going on here.
There's more cars than people that live in this town.
Yeah, but why? Because the power went out. Obviously, I wouldn't know that the power station blew up and that predators are killing everyone. So just the entire town for some reason just evacuates, but they don't get that far for some odd reason,
right?
Because of the events of the final end of the movie. It's like, but the roads are
really confusing that they decide they need to find somewhere to get weapons because otherwise they cannot get out of town when everyone's leaving town.
Yeah, there's no traffic. There's just traffic jams for some reason.
Like, yeah, it's not like you can't get out of town because the aliens are at the border and they're killing you.
It would have been better. Yeah, it would have been better if it was like a Dreamcatcher, where the government came in there and shut the town down and was just gunning people out for leaving. That would have made more sense than. I just
had a thought of there being like a checkpoint at the edge of town with xenomorphs, just like. They're just like papers. Like, no, okay.
But it's a xenomorph it's a xenomorph in a suit with like a fake mustache.
Hello.
See, that would be so much better now. But yeah, so they realize that we have to fight the predators. I mean, the aliens ourselves. So we go to the gun store. Ironically, Jesse also got rid of that lock as well, though, and they arm themselves up here. But as they're doing that, the National Guard shows up, thankfully, and we have a clip of that with no sound. So make sure you unmute yourselves when it happens.
All right, that's the second clip, I'm guessing.
Yes, clip number 2.
Ah, yes, the blood.
Yes. These guys they stand no chance whatsoever here, which I think is really stupid. Because as I was watching the National Guard come, I'm like, they got Humvees with machine guns. It shouldn't be a problem.
It's an ambush. That's why. That's all I remember them saying.
Yeah.
But the one thing I didn't say before, can you imagine if this town survived and tomorrow was swimming practice? They went into the gym and the pool was just empty.
I would love for there to be a
Just have,
sequel to this.
Just had like alien bones in it.
It's like, what's going on? I guess we're forfeiting. I don't know.
Yes, like I guess it's canceled today. Yep. So at the gun store, they run into two workers that are getting high in the back, and they said, "I'm not dying for $6.25 an hour."
This is that scene is so many dated references in one scene, because that's I mean, I don't know, but I would think Colorado is one of the more liberal states. I'm guessing that their minimum wage is significantly higher now. And the fact that it was also Colorado was one of the first states to pass legalized recreational marijuana. So like this was such a dated sequence that.
But also,
Well, wait, would it be dated or would it be accurate to the time?
Well, I'm saying, yeah, I guess it would be accurate to the time. I'm saying like now it doesn't. It's funny in hindsight when you think about some of these things.
Yeah,
because now you can't have guys just smoking weed and thinking, "Oh, haha, these are the silly characters." Like, oh, these could just be regular people now. But also, $6.25 an hour for a gun shorts, that seems kind of. I wouldn't want to pay people that low to work with guns.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea. It's like come on, you sell one gun and you can cover that guy for like 6 months of his wages.
Exactly. I don't have a slide of this, but Kelly and daughter show up too. I don't really know how Kelly and daughter know that the gun store is open at this time or why they haven't fled the town, but they show up too at the gun store.
yay!
Yeah. Then we cut to the hospital, and this scene makes the least amount of sense to me because the hospital is just flooded with people that are injured.
There's just so many pregnant women in this one small town.
But how are all these people in like triage and dying? Like the predator and aliens aren't. Yeah, that too. They're all pregnant at this scene. But there's so many injured people. The aliens aren't taking prisoners. Or
they're not even really wounding anybody. They're mostly just killing.
Yeah, there should be no reason for any of this stuff though.
My best guess would be that people were getting injured by other people trying to get out of the city or the town. That would be my best guess.
That would be really funny. They're just running each other over accidentally because they can't see.
I do. So I'm going to pull this one up because we're basically at the scene. But for $4.99 from Blue Collar Loser. I saw this on Xmas Day. My sis hated the nursery scene. That's why I saved it.
Mm-hmm.
MauLer go by Kazan. Is that a game?
That's a movie.
No, that's Kazam.
Wait, sorry. It's like half of it's off the screen for me. What was it? Oh, the only person I can tolerate gaming. Wait,
yeah.
He
likes watching you game. He says he hates watching me. I barely play any games. I'm going to be bringing that back though. I'm going to be bringing back my my gaming streams. But
you just got Alien vs Predator the game. You have to.
Well, I mean that's probably not one I'm going to use. I mean, I could eventually, but let's see. What's Kazan?
What's the guy? Not CeeLo Green. Who's the other guy? Like the I forgot. People say it wasn't Shaq. It was someone else.
Oh,
Sinbad.
It was Sinbad.
Yeah. Is that actually a thing where there were two Kazan movies?
Me and Stu Penzo have like this legendary argument where I keep trying to tell him it was real, and I know it wasn't real, but I like to come up with like I'll Photoshop shitty evidence that it was real. So
but
it was it wasn't.
Movie?
No, there was no movie. It's like
then why do people think it existed?
It's a Mandela effect thing. It's people think it happened, and it's like a collective delusion.
Society just gaslighting themselves continuously.
So apparently Kazan is the first Berserker. I guess it's in the Berserker universe for the anime Berserker.
Yeah, they're making a movie of that, aren't they? With Henry Cavill, or is that just a fake?
Oh no, that means that he'll get fired because they'll tell people that they're not doing the lore, and then they'll just be like, we're gonna break off from Henry Cavill now. We're gonna hire somebody else.
Yep, some 90-pound female.
Trailer. Looks cool.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Don't know if I'll be able to play it though because I've got a bazillion things to do.
Yeah, he's a movie writer now, guys.
Ooh, congratulations!
Writing them movies.
Just a short film, having a little fun, you know.
Well, I look forward.
I can only imagine how your brain comprehended when you were told to write a short film. You were like, but no.
Yeah,
all that character depth I can't put in it.
I gotta take. It's like you're like presenting like a huge script, and you're like, we only can approve you for 15 to 20 minutes. You're like, no, why? How about just this one scene from my script?
So we might be able to fit in the opening credits. That's about it.
Nice. Yep. So as the triage is happening, the alien is just the predator alien is just taking out nurses, and as you can see here, has his mandibles around the pregnant woman's face. So it now revealed that the predator alien is not killing people; he's just impregnating them, which is why there's so many aliens around, and we only saw a few little face huggers in the beginning of the opening of the movie. So now they have the ability to just make more of them.
Yeah, it's basically like some weird queen thing that it is. It can basically put the embryos directly into the person rather than having to go through the whole gestation period of the egg.
Yeah, I mean all that lore stuff that the other movies established. We now
also can put like 10 into a single body rather
I
than
don't know how to slide of that, but yeah, that's kind of weird how it does that. So let me go back to the gun store, and as you see here, Kelly has completely gotten over the fact that her husband is dead. She has been smoozing up with Dallas this entire time, and as you can see here, this is a very confusing scene for me because the Predator, as you could kind of see the distortion here, he's here, and he ties up Dallas upside down.
Yeah, this is some bullshit plot armor. They're not allowed to kill him. I don't know why you bother doing it to him if you don't want to kill the person, right? Do it to Randy.
But he ties him up with like a nylon rope.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
Predator doesn't have a nylon rope unless he stole it from the other one.
He picked it up.
Yes, that actually makes a lot of sense. But why would he do that?
Well, so the reveal is that when they burst in the room, Predator was actually having a fun little time shopping. He had a little trolley and he was putting stuff in, and then he's like, "Oh, like they've all burst in the room. I'm gonna get him for this. Ruining my day. Poor guy."
But then he kills the cashiers. He can't even purchase his gear.
Which, ironically, we do see that scene in clip number 3, if you will. And that has no sound. Make sure you unmute yourselves.
Here you go.
Thank you. Yep. So yeah.
Put this in the trailer as well.
Put everything in the trailer, MauLer. It was the whole movie was in the trailer.
It's like they really overcompensate. They're like, look how much gore and violence and stuff. It's like, watch it, please.
But it wasn't even like a teaser. It was like a 2.5 minute trailer.
One thing I forgot to mention before.
Wait a second. This guy's heads explode.
So not only him, but the Predators in the early part of the movie as well. They seem to suck at using their masks, not just for the aiming, but for decide. Oh, there's the burning phase. Oh, he's been fired. Okay, but they switch between the vision settings insane, like as if they don't know how they work.
Or as if that's what you do when you present Predator vision. You have to go constantly. As though it's like, well, no, he needs a particular vision. That's why he does that.
But they're supposed to know for this instance, because it's the aliens, it's the xenomorphs.
Yeah.
They've dealt with them, so they would know which one to go to. I don't think you have to flick through them all.
Well, no, you have to, because that's the last one.
Oh, of course. It's always the last one.
Yeah, you got to. It's like
it loads back up.
Yeah, yeah. Like my dial on my stove doesn't just go to quick boil. I have to go through the whole settings of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of wish that's how it happens, which makes more sense. But yeah, the people writing this had no idea. But then I'm sorry, where are we up to here?
It's so dark, I can't tell.
I got my notes. I'm like, I don't know what this scene is though. But yeah, the hospital, all the hospital beds start coding, and the doctor walks in. We really can't see it here though, but this woman just gave birth to a plethora of alien babies.
Si el guapo, it's a plethora.
So I guess the predator alien impregnated her, and then the babies turned into aliens, or the alien.
No, if those are just they would be the chest bursters. In this case, they're the womb bursters, I guess.
Yes. Still gross.
The baby's just not there. So the baby was just eaten. It also implied that it did it to the babies in the nursery as well. They don't show that.
I had that slide in there, but it was without any joke. It was beyond blurry to see. Like you could not make that to save your life. So that's
a scene that I think they could have just left out. I mean, this is whatever. It's it's gory for no reason, but like they shouldn't have even implied with the like there's just you lose pretty much everybody from this point in the movie because they're just like, oh fucking, like all they're thinking about is dead babies now.
Well,
and that's not a good thing.
Yeah, honestly, as a brand new father, I saw that scene. I'm like, this is kind of fucked up. So,
you lose. It doesn't matter. The person would
Yeah.
need to be like a sociopath watching it to not now be removed from the feelings.
It's like that that website, Does the Dog Die? That you go on and it tells you if the dog dies. It's just one of those things you put in a movie that you really don't need to.
Is that like, I've never heard of that? Is that like a
you never heard of
website
that
you
site?
can see if a dog dies in a movie?
No, yeah, there's a website called Does the Dog Die where you can go on it and it'll tell you. It used to be just the dog, but now it tells you if there's like sexual assault, if there's any trauma. It just tells. It's just like a warning label of things you don't want to see.
Okay.
So that was a site. Sometimes my wife will go on there. It's like, oh hey, they just showed a dog here. Let's just quickly look and see if the dog.
Let's make sure
literally
this
dies.
dog survives.
There's
that like one movie where they just keep killing a dog over and over again and it keeps reviving.
Yes, it was that Dennis Quaid, A Dog's Journey or something like that.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know like what it was, but I was like, what a way to make people hate your movie. Just keep killing a dog over and over again.
Yes, he keeps going through all different timelines until he finds his owner in the end. It's like, no one wants to see this. Speaking of no one wants to see this, so the woman gave birth to a plethora of aliens, and then this predator alien does not want to impregnate this guy. He just blows through his head.
Yeah, take his nose off. You need that.
I do love it. Implies that the predalien is like really an active and involved father. He's just over here. He's like, I got to make sure my babies are born healthy, and you're not doing your job, so get out of my way.
Well, they could have gone a little bit longer with this scene where maybe he's taking the dead bodies and using it to feed the new aliens or something. Guess that would make more sense, but nope. We're gonna cut over to our new group as they go to the National Guard, where all the convoys are dead, and there's no bodies there to speak of for some odd reason. And the sheriff gets on the radio and calls new character Colonel Stevens, who's watching this from a monitor, and he's definitely doing a risk assessment here because it shows the contamination level, and he realized that we got to kind of take this town out though. But doesn't this guy look like an alien or a lizard himself with that eye like that?
Well, he works for the government. He's lizard people.
He's definitely a lizard of some kind. Yeah,
that is true.
This scene looks like it was recycled right out of a Resident Evil movie.
Yeah,
it does look weird, right?
It's jarring compared to the rest of it is all either ridiculous technology of the Predators or this down home, like small town college. This is like right in the middle. It's very strange because we haven't really had any of that up to this point.
Yeah. So as they're doing all this, they decide to split up. No, I'm sorry. They all go in the Humvee, but then as they're going through this, Kelly's kind of telling them, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. The first thing the government would do was do containment. But as they're doing that conversation, we, of course, cut over to the Predator, who was just on top of a building after killing a group of aliens. A lot of this is just cutting over to the Predator after he's already finished something. So I have no idea how many aliens are in this town, but this dude's just been killing aliens all night, it seems.
Yeah, he's working overtime, that's for sure. His time card's starting to really get into the black for his.
I just would have thought you'd have a conference call by now and be like, "So this isn't working out great. Honestly, I've tried, but things are getting a little out of hand, and that predalien is birthing aliens faster than I can kill them." And,
it's like the opening of a Hangover of we fucked up, guys.
Pretty much. And it's like, maybe spend one more guy, maybe two, maybe 17,000. That would be
all of them. Yeah,
and then they're
not doing anything.
But then they're like, "Oh, Wolf, you're such a cute man," and just leave him alone. They're like,
"Oh, yeah." They're like, "No, even worse." Like, "Hey, Wolf, we're gonna send a whole armada there," and they just put him on hold and they start laughing about it afterwards.
Yeah, and it's the laugh from the first Predators. That one.
Yeah.
Why was
it's a nice callback, because they do a callback really soon, which I don't know if you have a clip of, and I
don't know what it is.
Oh, Dallas has a line.
No, I just say it. He doesn't actually put the clip in. I wanted to get through the slides.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't have the clip in there. But yeah, at this point, they realize that something's up with the military. The colonel has informed them that, yes, we are sending medevac choppers. Everyone just go to the center of town. Don't worry, we got you guys. And Kelly's like, that's not happening. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So their plan is to go to the hospital. Again, for some odd reason, the roads are cleared yet blocked. So the only way out of the town is with a helicopter. So they're going to go to the hospital to get the helicopter. I don't really think I would know if my local hospital has a helicopter.
Most local hospitals don't just have a helicopter on top of them, especially in small town Colorado.
Are the keys in the helicopter too?
Why
Do
not?
helicopters take keys?
Why don't you just leave in your?
Why not
big
just drive on the road?
I
You have a
don't get it.
tank. You literally have a tank. You could just drive anywhere through trees. It doesn't matter.
There must
Roads
be a
being blocked, irrelevant. Fucking tank.
I'm gonna check Hulu later because I'm curious if there must be a deleted scene somewhere of why they can't leave the town.
They're not
Because I don't-
Goff R35. They're not the right level. They can't get past the invisible wall.
Honestly, that sounds better than what they probably already planned with this movie.
It's like they go to drive the tank and they just hit a wall and it's like you need to be level 45 to get to
It's
this
like
point.
that TV show Under the Dome where it's like the thing from The Simpsons where it's just a giant dome over the town and they can't leave.
Well, that would be great if not the fact that there's aliens. You know, that kind of just makes the dome less safe. So
I mean,
they
that
got
would kind of.
a hatch to get out of the dome.
I mean, that kind of would have made sense if the Predator landed on the town and then put some giant dome over everything. I don't know. We're getting ahead of ourselves. My mistake, guys. Because that's... Yeah, so they end up at the hospital. And as that's happening... Oh, I'm sorry. They say that the goal is to keep Kelly alive. She is the only one that matters because she's the only one that can fly the helicopter.
Mm.
Joe, this
Yes.
one seems like it's right up your alley. So go
Oh,
ahead.
perfect. Oh, God.
Go ahead.
You guys excited for the next movie currently in the making, Aliens versus Deportations? At this point, Hollywood should just say, do it.
I would love to see like a short, like someone do a short somewhere where it's a xenomorph going to immigration and being like, look, I know that my people have been a little violent, maybe shown up, done some shit that we shouldn't have done, but I don't want to be part of that. I'm seeking asylum.
I swear, we're just alien husbands at this point.
Yeah. Are you bringing any vegetables? Like, no, I'm not. I pretty much eat brains exclusively at this point.
That'd be great though. Just an alien trying to apply for citizenship.
It's like I noticed the giant statue out like in the water. It said like you're tired, you're cold, you're huddled masses. I'm one of them.
I'm very cold right now.
I'm very cold all the time. I don't wear clothes. I'm just.
They'd have to inform a strict policy of no killing. He's like, oh.
It's like, damn. So yes, the group makes it inside the hospital, and of course the alien shows up too. I have no idea why the alien is at the hospital. It just seems like he goes wherever the people go. And
Yeah, they wanted to imply he was somehow tracking the Predalians throughout the whole movie, but it's so chaotic that it's just like it's whatever. He's
yeah,
where he needs to be.
he comes face to face with the Predator alien, and they have a quick little fight, and then we have another clip here of probably the best death in the entire movie.
Oh, which number were we at? We were at number 4. Okay.
Yes.
This has sound, right?
Yes, it does.
Jesse! No, wait!
Can we establish that she got a lot higher than she should have from that hit?
Almost as high as those two cashiers.
For $6.25 an hour, they got pretty high there.
Dude, smart discs are so cool.
Which was your favorite type of smart disc, MauLer? I actually really like the one, like the standard smart disc that looks more like a frisbee. I feel like that one makes a little bit more sense to me. But
I mean, cool factor is complicated, right? Like what you told, which one do I think is the most practical versus which one is just the most?
yeah, which however you want to look at it. I like to look at with the technology of the Predators, everything's pretty practical in terms of what they use it for. So.
Yeah, because you're talking about the Predator 2 is the first smart disc, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then even Harrigan ends up using it to
It's
his armor.
cool how they They are so advanced, but at their core, they have just the simplistic weapons too that do the job very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, a lot of their technology, it's like, okay, this net that gets really tight and cuts you into pieces, and a spear that collapses and is really light because it's made of a
Dude, I
very
love
light
that
metal.
net. It's such a cool idea that you don't really see much at anything.
Does the net have acid on it?
No, it's just
No.
it's just really thin wire that just tightens. That's all it does.
It'll cube you.
Yeah. But then there's the smart disc is the one that kind of has they're designed slightly differently, because you have the one that from Predator 2 that is almost looks like a frisbee, and then you have the one from here that's like a shuriken, and it's kind of that's really the only thing that you get where it's two very distinctly different designs.
Yeah, because they getting this from AVP, I think, is the first one to have it, right? It's like it's pretty gnarly in a like probably less practical way for sure, but I don't know. I do. It does appeal to me in it's cool as fuck way for Predators.
Yeah, all the Predator technology is really cool. That's why this movie's such a shame that's turned out this way.
I think the reason, I think it just clicked to me the reason why I like the other one better. So the way that you have to throw the shuriken one, they have to basically hold it by the edge of one of the blades. I just feel like the frisbee one, they have like the holes that they stick their fingers in and really can like throw all of their might into it. Whereas the shuriken one would really just be like a wrist flick.
The way they justify it when you look at it from the movie is that it only opens up on half the sides. You know what I mean? The spiky knife parts, which would have to affect its balance significantly. So, it's got a real cool factor, but the way that you'd fix it, it would like, I don't know, protrude all those blades after you've thrown it, I guess, so that it remains balanced. But they can't do that. They got to do the cool swing sort of activation and closing down.
Well, yeah. How else would you know that it's there if it's not making the sounds?
It's cool.
Yeah, like some of the other things that have variations is like there's a bigger plasma caster that you can have versus a smaller one. The mask differences, but for the most part, it's really just a visual difference. It's not a functionality difference. Yeah, it's like an aesthetic. It's like an aesthetic thing.
Well, speaking of aesthetics, Jesse's now dead, and Ricky realizes that his last shot with her is also doomed. So he decides to charge the Predator and open fire on him, but the Praetorian decides to spear the Predator through an elevator shaft. And as he does that, he drops his Predator shotgun, which Dallas then decides to Yes.
Predator shotgun.
I didn't have a name for it.
Well, isn't it just the plasma caster? He just took it off of his shoulder and is now using it as like...
Well, it's a shotgun because he has to pump it and stuff. And
okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wasn't paying close enough attention to realize whether it was the one he took off of his shoulder or if it was a completely different gun.
No, I think it was a different one because I think he got damaged and then he has to use the plasma caster as a shotgun. Something happened to the Predator. I forgot early on in this movie, though. Yep, so as that's happening, Ricky gets stabbed in the plot armor by one of the aliens, and they gun him down. But don't worry, Ricky, he's completely 100% fine. That is not me saying that Ricky dies later on. He gets stabbed through the chest and the back, and they just patch him up.
He did fuck. Like that stab wound is intensely bad. Like
what do you mean? How it picked him up off the ground too?
There's the fact that it goes right through, and then there's like it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like it's stabbing him up through the torso. It's basically the worst case scenario in terms of covering as much portion of his body as possible.
It's also right near his heart.
Yeah, he's every kind of dead, and then the movie's like, no, he's fine.
In his at minimum, one of his lungs is punctured. At worst, his his valves and shit just got severed from his heart.
Just eviscerated. He's fine.
It sounds bad though, but you're forgetting something. Kelly is here. Kelly is,
and she has a nondescript job with the U.S. Army or Air Force or something.
She can fly helicopters, which means she can obviously patch it through and through.
Well, It would have been a problem because the doors to the helicopter weren't unlocked. But luckily, one of the last acts before she died, Jesse actually taped them. So,
That Jesse.
yeah,
Thoughts
it
and
was a big
prayers.
sacrifice. I will
Yeah.
say I don't give a fuck about her at all, but I do like the ragdoll element of her getting hit by the smart disc.
Oh, that was awesome.
Kind of fun. Yeah.
They do some fun things in this movie, though. Yep, so as this is going on, the sheriff arrives at the town center. And this is why I don't think an Alien show really makes sense, though, because they're just gunning down all the aliens. I
You
don't
have
really
to be really clever with how you do it because, like, everyone's thought is that. Like, would aliens really beat humans? And it's like, okay, look at
Well, that's-
Aliens, the movie, how they had to justify it by basically nerfing the shit out of the Marines by putting them in a really difficult position, having the aliens ambush them, making them panic, changing their weapons, making them cause friendly fire, and then losing loads of their numbers and losing their escape vehicle. You know, you have to write a bunch of reasons for why humanity would lose this, but I mean, the main thing for me would just be it should be game over because the aliens should start spreading really fast and birthing really fast, and then facehuggers are all over the place. Not game over in the sense that all of humanity would be dead, but game over in the sense that the world will never be the same. You know?
Well, I could believe that an event, a movie like this could happen where you might catch us off guard if it happens at nighttime. Obviously, everyone's not awake, but within 24 to 48 hours, this problem should be solved, essentially. If you don't have a Praetorian alien that's impregnating everything that moves, then you're not really reproducing.
What I'm getting at is that you'd need to get a couple alien queens going straight away in some deep, dark cavern that no one can find, so that...
The homeless encampment, of course.
Yeah.
They're not using it for jobs or anything.
Maybe you maybe make a character like a evil scientist man who had a whole bunch of them in his basement, and he died, and they all escaped.
Or like the priest in the new Blob movie, where at the end of the movie he had the remnants of the Blob. He's like, "Oh yes, soon you'll bring judgment there," or something. So they'll just get some crazy guy that wants to harness the queen with all of her eggs to bring about the new world, probably.
You talking about the 88 one?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's
Yeah,
Frank Darabont helped with that one, didn't he? Or am I making that up?
I'm sorry.
Frank Darabont have something to do with the Blob movie?
I'll take a look.
Well, as you,
Yeah.
who was he in that movie? Oh, cool.
Yeah, co-wrote.
He co-wrote it, yeah.
I like the Blob movie. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, I remember liking it too.
Yeah, I was afraid to take a shower for like a week after watching it. I was afraid.
Use that as an excuse.
I would just quickly soap up, jump in the shower, and jump back out.
When people are like, you smell, you're like, no, I'm just afraid of showers.
It's like, shut up, the Blob's gonna get me.
I just watched the
pools,
movie, guys.
So yeah, after the town starts unloading on all the aliens, again, they're in the town center because the colonel told everyone in the town to go to the town center, and since the sheriff was the only one that heard that conversation, obviously the entire town knew what was going on and converged into the town center.
He started making some calls with his, his terrible signal that he had. Remember, he checked it. He was like, I have no cell phone signal. I can't call anybody. I'll get everybody on the radio.
Well, that's, again, as Jason Aldean says in that song, this happens in a small town. Everyone rallies, together and stuff.
It's groupthink.
Yeah. So the other group is now on the top of the hospital, ready to find that helicopter. And of course, Dallas uses the shotgun to blow his way through the chain link fence. But don't worry, the military is on their way as promised. I'm from the military. I'm here to help out.
That's the best line in the movie, by the way. They're the military. They would, or the government. The government never lies to people.
It's like I heard that. I'm like, what the hell was the right?
That was a little while ago. That was when they were on the radio. I think it was the chick whose life has become really terrible in the last 48 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. After she stopped them, she's like, yeah, the government, of course, they're going to help us out. And as you see here, they're sending over a plane that's going to just pick up everyone, of course. Yep. So
yeah,
it's
not like a bomber or anything.
Nah.
No. Chat. This does not look like a bomber at all. It's like,
come on, that's clear. That's clearly they're gonna dive down real low and grab everybody like one of those water planes
with a big net.
Yeah.
So thankfully, they find the helicopter on top of the hospital, and of course, Jesse solve the problem of making sure that the keys are with it. But here Dallas uses his shotgun and blows up an alien at close range as seen in the trailer. And of course, not a single piece of acid comes on his face, thankfully.
I think they show him like dive forward as if that would account for it. It's like, that's splattering. You're done. There's no way you're escaping every droplet.
He's wearing a vest, clearly. So
That's
his
not
face
an
is fine.
anti-acid vest. An alkaline vest.
Alkaline vest.
Yeah. So the stills get a little bit blurry from here, as you can see, though. But yeah, the Predator shows up. He has an awesome whip chain thing, and he's just demolishing all the aliens up there. He sees the Praetorian alien,
The Predalien.
Predalien, of course, and Kelly's just gunning down aliens too. Big group effort. Of course, Ricky is injured, yet he's still fighting the good fight as the little girl is just screaming off in the distance.
She's the only one that's making any sense whatsoever.
Yes. I think by this point Dallas gets on the ship. The helicopter. And I'm sorry, but we have a.
I have a special screen grab from the a Discord far away. By the way,
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, that's
this one was sent to me by I don't remember who originally sent it to me, but Berger was the one who sent it to me if he's watching. But yeah, that was this screen grab where it looks like the Predator and the Predalien are embracing one another and.
Hey man,
they've
been through a lot. Okay, there's a lot that gets unsaid, and I think this is actually a sweet moment where they're just we've been at war for so long. Maybe it's time for some love. I think that's.
They do say make love, not war. So
exactly.
Yes. And would you be able to put the final clip that has sound on it, where we get to see what got to that scene? Yeah, so after that battle, they make sweet, sweet love to each other on top of the rooftop as the helicopter flies away. And then we see the military plane, and it drops off this weird helicopter-shaped thing that kind of looks like a missile.
Yeah, that's one. It's one of those savior missiles.
Exactly, and just like the savior, it unleashes the power of God on the town.
I was just gonna say the motivation for Wolf here, like in the first Predator movie, he's coming to collect trophies because he's gonna beat us all up. He's gonna prove he's the best ever. This guy is here as cleanup, sort things out, prevent everything from getting out of control. And then are we supposed to believe he's like, you know what though? I really want to have a fairer fight with the creature I'm here to assassinate and prevent from destroying everything. It's just like, okay, I guess, because obviously the stakes are pretty high here, buddy. If you lose, it's going to fuck up everything, and you're not contacting anybody. And it looks like you didn't contact anybody when you left. So I'm just curious, what was the point of the whole movie's plot line for him? If he was just going to come here and have a, motto-y-motto sort of thing?
Well, even if he didn't show up, it's kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, that the Nazis would have just opened up the Ark and died. So if Wolf never showed up, the military's still going to blow this place up. They didn't do it.
True. He didn't affect anything in this story, technically.
Wolf did nothing, because if he did nothing, the military would have still blown the place up again.
You're telling me we watched him pour blue goo in the whole movie for no reason at all?
We watched him pour the goo. We watched him pour his blood, sweat, and tears to do his job for his janitory, low-page, minimum wage job, just for Daddy Government to blow his ass up.
Actually, if anything, he may have delayed this because he was cleaning it up, and no one could figure out what was going on. They probably would have figured it out a lot sooner. The government would have been like, "Yeah, we got to go take care of that and contain that situation."
I sadly forgot the clip. It's of Sheriff and Daisy looking over at each other, because they, of course, said the government's going to help, as they're watching the missile just come down and realize this is not a helicopter.
It would have been great if one of them would have been like, "That's the strangest helicopter I've ever seen."
Yeah. Speaking of helicopters, this one crashes, as you can see here. But thankfully, our entire group, Ricky, is patched up and everything, and Dallas is alive. I don't know how Dallas got thrown this far out of the helicopter. It doesn't really make much sense. But the military shows up. I don't know how they knew the helicopter was going to be here or anything, but they just showed up in a second.
This is the strategic point where helicopters fall.
I was going to say, it is obviously where helicopters fall. This is the helicopter retrieval unit. They're always here.
Yes, but thankfully, this is the kind version of the military, so they don't just gun these people down instantly. Instead, they arrange for a medevac to get them as Dallas hands over his alien shotgun and then proceeds to make love to Kelly in the downed helicopter.
Thing is, the government probably would execute all of them, unfortunately.
Of course they would.
Even the nicest version is what I'm saying. You don't need them to be corrupt to do that. Like, it's like, guys, sorry about this, but you just came from a highly toxic, contaminated area that could destroy the whole world if we're not careful. So,
I mean,
bye.
That's a great point. Realistically, the government knows, honestly, less than us of what's going on in this movie, and we don't know much of what's going on. They could be pretty much could think there's a virus or something or anything.
Except for the final scene kind of proves that they know what the hell's going on.
They know more than the characters in the town, but they don't know. Remember, he was like, "What the hell are you?" He seems to not have a lock to go on.
By the way, we forgot to mention what the line was. It was right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He says, "Get to the chopper," but says it exactly how I said it.
He goes like, "You gotta get to the chopper."
It's terrible.
Yeah, remember when Arnold said that, and it was cool.
Get to the chopper.
We're just gonna do it again with just no oomph to it whatsoever.
I occasionally like to do Arnold voice for like telemarketers. It's great. They call you for your car's warranty, and you just talk to them back. Tell them that they don't accept warranties in California.
I'm really dating myself here, though. But do you remember Arnold's Pizza Shop?
Yes.
The
guy with the soundboard.
Yes. Arnold's Pizza Shop. I can't do the voice, but yes.
My grandmother had a very similar accent to that, so it was just imagine like a woman with that voice. She didn't yell as much. Arnold just screams in every line for some reason.
You mean? Well, it is a classic voice to impersonate. There was like an era on the internet for a while with the soundboards of accepting spam or phoning up whoever and then just using his lines from all of his movies. Like, I'm Detective John Kimball. And they'd be like, "What? Detective?"
That was
like
really good.
Well, they just take all of his shit from all of his movies and they combine it up to make it actually sound like you're talking to a person. It was.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Yeah, and they'd be like, "What do you mean? Why are you asking me this?"
Well, it's almost like MauLer, watched a lot of movies. It's like, it's great. He can do the accent. But yeah, because that's like a really rural Austrian accent. So my grandmother was from like the mountains, not far from where he's from. So her accent was very similar, but just she didn't yell every single thing that she said.
Well, that's her problem.
Yeah,
exactly. So the government now, again, we never got a sequel to this movie, a trilogy, if you will. So we don't know what the plan was, but they know something's up here because we run into mysterious new player of the group, mysterious lady, and she says that the guy says that the world isn't ready for this sort of technology, and we just see the alien shotgun, which I would say, based on all the other technology, the Predator shotgun, and based on all the other technologies the Predator has provided, this is like the weakest thing, pretty much. Isn't even a plasma caster. I mean, look at it; it has a handle on it. It's not a plasma caster.
Yeah, you're right. Now that I'm seeing it up close, and in a still frame, I could tell.
Like, this is nothing. But
it kind of looks like the flintlock pistol that he gives to him at the end of the second movie.
Yes, it does.
What's the thing below it?
Belt buckle.
What's the thing below it? You see it in the next movie. But yeah, that's I think that's the final. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We got some behind the scenes where you can actually see what
the
fight
fuck?
scene-
That is so much better. What is?
That's what I mean.
Right?
Why do they work so hard on these fucking like special effects and then just hide it all? You fools.
Well, that's what I thought watching the Aaron Taylor Johnson Godzilla movie. Like, why would
Yeah.
you make Godzilla, but everything's at nighttime and dirty and dusty, and I can't see anything? But yeah. So we got as you can
Look
see
at
here,
that looks really good.
looks nice, right? And then, of course,
A little
after
stiff.
making-
It looks a little stiff comparative to the older movies, but it still looks good. And here's the bromance. That's
after
fantastic.
making war, they made love, like we said, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Alien vs Predator: Requiem.
the greatest movie ever made.
Yep.
Doesn't have a great rap for obvious reasons. There's nothing really memorable about it at all. The script is weak.
It's one of those movies that 30 years later, it'll really get the recognition it deserves.
Honestly, as much as I love the badly photoshopped MauLer picture I used for the thumbnail, send me that one. That might be the best. That might be the best picture of an alien and predator I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, what else is there to say? We'll get another AVP soon enough, and the challenge will be, can it be better than Requiem?
That's the bar.
Well, it's funny because I'm not really sure, but I kind of get the sense that what was some of the stuff that was left on the cutting room floor that was there for AVP 3 ended up being in The Predator. Because all of a sudden now, that the government had plasma casters and stuff in their research facility. So I have a feeling that some of the remnants from this series ended up going into The Predator.
That's sad.
I mean, I've only watched that movie once ever, but I do recall them having Predator technology in the area already.
What do you mean? We're gonna watch this movie next week, probably.
No.
We need to do a countdown to Predator movie to the new one coming out. We have to watch all the Predators.
I already have the schedule made. I'm not changing it for that shit.
Changing the
I'll
schedule.
put it on eventually. But we have to. You can't just jump into The Predator without doing the first two.
Why?
Because
everyone's seen it already. What are we gonna do? Talk for an hour and a half of, hey, this scene was really cool. This movie is great.
Yes, I'm going to do that because I wasn't around to do it the first time when other people did it, so I'm going to do it myself.
Fine.
I did end the poll, by the way. 109 votes. Predator wins 57% to 42%. 1% apparently abstained.
What?
I think what it is it just rounds it to the nearest whole number.
Make them vote.
Well, it's probably like 52.3% percent to like 42.7% or something. So they just like rounded, or vice versa, whatever it is.
What was the poll? Who would you rather be, a predator or an alien?
No, it was just which one do you like better. I think we did the same thing last time, and I actually think it was the reverse. But I'll have to go back and check.
I don't think it was like, who would you rather be, a Roman or a creepy Greek at that time?
What was it? It was super hyper masculine Roman centurion or creepy boy toucher Greek or something like that.
Yes. When you put it that way.
Yeah. But so fantastic movie, everyone. I hope you loved it. I know MauLer was over there just having the time of his life.
You just can't muster up as much passion for something like this as you can for AVP. I'm sorry, that's just the way it goes. These directors, they don't have the source that Paul W.S. Anderson has, clearly.
It is weird because we say that, but there was a short time where Paul W.S. Anderson actually wasn't the worst director out there, or like one of the worst. He wasn't doing the amazing work, but like the Mortal Kombat movie, solid. The first AVP, solid. Even the first Resident Evil, I always say that one was solid, and then it just went off the rails after that for his career.
Even mention Event Horizon. I'm
surprised. Event Horizon, yes, good movie. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but like I was just, but then it just goes off the rails when he marries Mila Jovovich. It's like he's just like, you're gonna be in everything ever.
I did not know they were married.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my thing is, I really don't know much about what goes on in Hollywood or any of these behind the scenes stuff. So I try to go into these situations completely blind. So,
yeah. But we do have to give our final thoughts on the movie, and I will yield to MauLer first. He is our guest.
Oh, what can you say? It's a bit of a wet fart. They got a handful of things correct, and they had all the things there to make what could have been a pretty cool movie, but they just fumble at all different kinds of places. But fundamentally, for me, it's just there's just no human being of any interest in this whole thing, to the point where whenever it cut back to Wolf, I was like, okay, something might happen that can keep me interested, because character for Predators is drawn out of their actions, and it's interesting to see a Predator that's trying to make use of the situation in like a tactical way that of like cleaning it up. It's like that's a different sort of thing, and for the vague 5 seconds per scene of his that kept me somewhat going. There's some hyper violence that's sort of like, but broadly speaking, you just eventually like, when's the credits? Come on now, we've exhausted everything you guys are capable of. Apparently, like they didn't. I don't think they gave much concern to the script, which is unfortunate because. The special effects, they're there. They've got a whole set of places to film, enough budget to make something happen. It's not like it couldn't have been any good, but this is what we ended up with, unfortunately.
Joe.
I think there are certain movies that should be in any college screenwriting class. I think this should be one of those movies because jokes aside from it, like from a serious standpoint, this movie does fail at almost every single aspect, mainly from motivation, plot, character development, just directing style of let's put everything nighttime, let's make these really cool looking prosthetics and practical effects and just hide it within darkness. This movie really does almost go out of its way to do everything wrong, which is why I kind of would like to hear a director's cut, like a commentary of it, to see if they're just laughing the entire time. Because I've seen, like, I think it was a Blood Rain movie, the really old vampire video game based off of it.
Yeah, that was what was his name? Did that one? The guy who fucks up every movie.
Exactly, and
I could be more specific on that.
The one who fucks up every video game movie that he touches. What was his? UA Bowl.
Yeah, but during that movie, they were laughed about the sex scene, saying like, "Oh yeah, we just put that in here." I wonder if they had the same kind of level of dedication to this movie of, "Hey, we're just gonna throw these characters in here, and Wolf's gonna have no motivation and no logic for anything he does." But yeah, from a serious standpoint, this movie is really, really terrible. There's not much redeeming about it, and I'm honestly surprised that after it came out, that the Predator franchise not just continued, they just kept trying to pop out as many of these things as possible to try to remotely capture the essence of the first one, and it's just been downhill ever since. And I have no faith for the Predator going forward.
I don't think anybody does. Like I said earlier when we talked about Predator 2, they had a decent idea there of changing the setting. They even play around with it. I remember in the beginning of Predator 2, they like show the jungle and then pan over to LA and they're like, this is where it's at. And it's like they had a decent idea there, and the execution was for the most part pretty good. Like I said, it gets a little long in the tooth, but for this one, it kind of the same thing. The first one was surprisingly better than it probably should have been. Wasn't a award winner by any stretch, but it wasn't offensive. The things that they did change were fine. Because it was, I always say that movie felt like fan fiction. This one feels like nightmare. Like it's just like the guys who were writing it, or the guys who were in charge of it, I should say, were not prepared to handle these kind of characters in terms of two large IPs, and they didn't know how to respect it. They didn't hire a single person that I can name in this movie. So I don't care about any of the characters, because not only do I not know the actors, they don't give them any development whatsoever. It's got some funny sequences that are unintentional. It's unintentional. It's not because they wanted it to be funny. It just ended up being that way. And I'm glad that they didn't go forward with whatever sequel they were doing. But then again, if it led to the Predator, then I'm actually not glad. I wish that they would have not let that happen. And yeah, it's like Amelia Bedelia just said it. It's like the dead babies, stuff like that. Just weird choices that they made that drag down the movie. Killing a kid within the first, what was that, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, it's you can't do that stuff and expect people to be like, yeah, this is the movie for me.
Yeah, suck it, kid.
Yeah, and they don't even you don't even really know half the time who you're supposed to like. Am I rooting for the Predator to do his job, and then he kills a guy for basically no reason? It's like, okay, Okay, I guess I'm not rooting for him now. The motivational switches are strange. The only saving grace, and because of the fact that they were so dark, was the special effects. They did a really good job with that. I'm just not. I think because they had to use some rudimentary CGI in certain scenes, they knew enough about special effects that if they were like, okay, we'll go darker, and it won't be as noticeable that we're using this crap CGI, and then they just went completely just dark all the time. That's
perfect. I like what you said. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Oh, that it was the thing that they just, you don't know if you're supposed to care about, like who you're supposed to care about.
Oh yes, that part right there, though, because I know that the new Predator movie, one of the taglines or one of it was what if the Predator was a good guy? And with this one, I don't know if he is the savior or the herald to destroy Earth or something like that.
Yeah, he kills random humans sometimes, even though they're not really doing anything. Like that guy was running away. What's he gonna do? Run to the office and be like, I saw a ghost in the fucking woods. They'll just be like, you were out all night looking for you're probably sleep deprived. That's what would happen.
An 8-foot Jean-Claude Van Damme in armor and dreadlocks.
Yeah. There you go. But I mean, that's pretty much all we got for that, which just leaves us with everybody's favorite segment, which is it is now time to plug your shit. This is where you tell us where you are, where you've been, where you're going, if we can find you there, what video you're putting out, how long it's going to be in MauLer's case, and all of that stuff. And we'll start with MauLer.
Well, we just got done actually on EFAB talking about the Until Dawn movie, which I don't think anyone knows exists. It's they actually adapted that game into a movie, and they didn't follow the story of the game whatsoever, which is just another example. And even though they didn't, the premise of the film was like, oh, this could be fun, and then it wasn't, and it was terrible. And once again, another film with no character. Why do people hate character? Is it so hard just to say, this is Bob, he likes cheese, and then he desperately is looking for cheese throughout the whole movie? That's like level 1. They can't even do that. Ridiculous. Terrible. I wish we had a character that liked cheese. I'd find that relatable. But anyway, we got that's just come out, and then soon enough we're going to be doing Thunderbolts. That's going to be one that I think everyone's probably going to keep an eye on. The story of Marvel collapsing, and we're 2 chapters away now from hitting what will be the biggest movie they've had in a long time. That's going to be a cameo splattered disaster. They've already shown that like there's behind the scenes stuff of Ian McKellen as Magneto filming. I just can't believe it that we're doing that all over.
85 now? Like, how old is he?
It's all so insane. But anyway, there's that, and then yes, I am working on things and stuff, and I think it's become slightly frustrating for people invested in my stuff because it's been a while. But let's just say I can guarantee it'll make sense. There will be a time, most likely this year, it could be next year, but I think it's going to be this year, where I will be able to make clear why there was a gap, because there's stuff coming. That the best I can do is say that it's on the way, and that I've shown a few friends here and there, people like Drinker, and he's said yes, stuff is definitely coming, because he's seen what's getting prepped, and it'll be really fun when it comes out, but it's not out yet, so hang on. I can't give any more updates than that because it's still not
secretive.
Yeah, you gotta keep it close to the chest. That sort of thing.
I think when you and me first met, the open bar, and you had told me that story that you like accidentally sent a video before it was done to somebody once. I thought that was hilarious. So
I don't know. In retrospect, I don't know how that fucking happened. It was just like the most unfortunate. Like I copied the link for some other reason because I wasn't sending it to anybody, and then someone messaged me on I don't even remember what messenger it was now. I think it was Facebook, and it was a fan. And I literally like fat fingered Control V and enter somehow. Like and I remember thinking like, oh fuck, and deleted it within 5 seconds. And then the guy sent a message saying I've already downloaded it. Thank you. I was like,
wow.
But these were the days where I was using game footage as a background, and let's just say wasn't as very careful with my scripts and voice work, so that I avoid all mistakes. I'm a lot more autistic these days when it comes to stuff like that. So it was a faster process, and I was basically like, as soon as I gave that to that guy, I was like, well, I got to get this video out now within like the next few days, otherwise
it's going to hit the black market of YouTubers.
It would be awkward, right? If it was just like, oh, it's just this video from MauLer that no one else can see. But like, if you guys want to check it out, I was like, what the fuck? So, yes, that was a weird thing that happened, but that was years ago. Everything is tight now. No mistakes, no leaks whatsoever.
Yes, you've tightened up the game. I did highlight this briefly, so I reminded myself, but we did have one last super chat that came in for 1999 from Flummoxed Buffoon 87. Well, I like that name. Well done, lads.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me as well. Love a chance to talk about Alien versus Predator Requiem.
I mean, where else, right?
Where else?
Joe, what do you got coming up?
This week is a little bit slow. Though. I have music coming out. I got 30 pieces tomorrow. Judas's "Betrayal of Jesus" song coming out there, and I remember I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago about me trying to do a lot of what if with Marvel of animated things because I wanted to put the Hawkeye story of what I thought would have been a good idea if they made a Ronin movie. Just trying to find the right technology for that. But I just got my recent idea of a video got ruined. I was going to write about Sinners, how I thought it was going to be a box office flop. Apparently, it's a top 20 grossing horror movie of all time. Apparently, the second week is exploding in the box office. I would not have guessed that at all.
It had a big good word of mouth, so the second week was pretty good.
Yeah, a couple days ago it was at 94 million, and now it's at like 160 million. I honestly thought second week was gonna make it flop. So yeah, that was my idea of a video. But yeah, right now I'm just gonna focus on animation, and I will be here with you next week talking about
next week. Well, not next week, the following week. I think we're doing Karate Kid that week.
Perfect.
Look, let me just double check that before I commit to saying that. Yes, we are doing Karate Kid on the 11th.
Oh, perfect.
Possibly Drinker might pop in for that one for a little while. He's
got time, I see.
Yeah. But I know Chucksenhausen, who's a super fan of a lot of the channels. He was on the Cobra Kai stream with me. I'm bringing him in. A couple other people are going to be on, and that was actually supposed to be last year, and it was one of the ones that kind of got bumped several times. Yeah. So I just kind of put it in. I was like, well, you know what? I'll just put it in with when they released that new Karate Kid movie, and just kind of try to play off of that. Another one just popped up. Elvin for €2. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood it should say is still shit. He always says is still shit. What was that, Joe?
I was gonna say to MauLer's what you said before though. Until Dawn came out. Or you guys just talking about the did not? I saw the trailer. I had no idea it even came out. Yeah.
Yep.
We love the game. No, we love the game, but
so honestly, that game was going to be impossible to do as a movie because it's all based unless you did it like Bandersnatch from Black Mirror, where you change what you're doing, but then you just play the game. Like, why would you bother? Yeah. So I at least applaud them for trying to come up with a way to do that and have it make like, okay, we're going to try different outcomes. And I've heard MauLer, you just said you didn't like it. I've heard a couple people say that it was okay. Seems like it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of people's reactions.
I'm going to like it a lot less than a lot of average audience goers who are looking for a horror film with a bunch of crazy gore, some tension, and some interesting, designs for different monsters and stuff. It definitely does all those things, but it's not what I look for in horror.
Well, did you play the game?
Also, you're a fan of the game. I remember you did a playthrough not long ago.
Fan of the game is not what I would describe myself as, but I'm very familiar with it.
I thought you enjoyed the game.
Not really, no.
Oh wow!
I thought you liked it. I don't
know. that says it right there.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just mean I don't know if we want to have that discussion right now. It's like no.
I don't care.
Very good, but that's all good.
It's like the Peter Griffin one saying he didn't like The Godfather, and they all jumped on him. So what do you
no, I mean, it's I can see why it's not. I thought that MauLer liked it. I don't know. I thought I overheard you say that you liked it. But maybe I'm misremembering something.
I maybe controversially think it's pretty bad.
I don't think you had the right end, and that's probably the problem.
Yeah, it might have been. Maybe it was in a different discussion. Somebody else said they liked it, and I thought that, and for some reason I'm attaching that to you. It might have been with the situation,
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, so as for me, you'll find me here always on Two Hose, and I still do need to release Daredevil Video 3. I wasn't gonna do the video, but then that show went off the rails at the end, and I was like, whatever, who cares?
So did the
Yeah,
viewers.
well, that's the thing. That's why I'm not rushing. I actually think that I might get better views if the longer I wait with this video, because people will be like, "Oh, it's not, that's weird that came out. Let's go watch that now." Because I'm not even joking you, there was an 80% drop off from my first video to my second video. That's how much people stopped caring about that show.
Well, it shows that Marvel has lost all goodwill with everyone. Daredevil was probably one of the best things they've ever done, was the TV show with Netflix, and now it's so you guys ruined it, I see.
So that's pretty much the stance I took. The first 3 episodes, the video I did, I was like, this is disappointing. It could be a lot better. It's not the worst. It's not dead yet. They could still fix this. There's lots of time in this show. Then the second video was episodes 4, 5, and 6. I was like, okay, we got maybe a real villain here in Muse, and there's some stuff going on. It looks like maybe this is where they hit the rewrites and they changed a few, and then they just fucking killed him in the next episode. Sorry, spoiler alert. And and it just went off the rails. It's like they just had storylines that went nowhere or started and stopped really abruptly. And whatever kind of recovery they started doing in the middle bit was completely shot. But yeah, I'm going to do that video still. And I'm going to do Thunderbolts, obviously, because everyone's going to do which I know MauLer, you and me had a very brief discussion on Open Bar. I have this feeling, because no one cares about it and its characters no one cares about, it might end up being decent, because they could just do whatever they want and they don't need to really worry about pissing off storygoers, because the Thunderbolts is not something people are really going to give a shit about. But
No, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure that was the problem with Marvel films. That it's not like everyone's big criticism is that they don't do accurate to the comics, even though that does come up. What I guess I'm saying is, like, they're just horribly written in general.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That a lot of times it's just horrible plot holes and stuff. But I just have a feeling that because it's a downplayed thing, it's not a they're not doing, from what I could see, they're not doing multiversal stuff. Might simplify the script a little bit, maybe make it work a little bit better. But like I said, even if I'm wrong, who cares? It's going to be
something I really hate with Marvel these days is that they wait till the end to do a really cool trailer. Like the final trailer, it looks really dark and action packed, and then you get the first trailer where, oh, everyone is the comedy one. Oh, look, everyone is miserable and depressed. I mean, even with She-Hulk, the first trailer was terrible, but the final trailer, it looked like there was actually going to be some kind of semblance of a plot here. So I really hate how Marvel's saving the good stuff for the final trailers and not the first thing we see.
I actually don't really like watching trailers. I do it for when I'm on a live stream talking about it, but I tend to avoid trailers if I can, mostly because it gives away stuff. Or the thing I hate even more, when they put in a scene that doesn't show up in the movie. That always pisses me off. But like I said about this one, even if I'm wrong and it's horrible, like, no one's probably going to see it anyway, so no one's going to really care. It's like,
pretty much.
But yeah, so I guess that's all for today, and that just leaves us to say goodbye to the audience. Thank you. You were very generous today. I will find a way to drag MauLer back for another terrible movie. I don't know how. And yeah, so see all that. I'm gonna say this: last time we had an issue, I hit the end stream thing. It ran the closing credits and didn't end the stream. So let's see if that happens again. What do you think that's gonna happen again, Joe?
I was ready to say something, so no, I'll wait.
Let's see. Let's find out.